how you cook.
Get 'em. I will transform on this joint, spazzing off the drugs I'm on. Turn senile ever since I'm born, like Nebraska use or corn. In my prime like Optimus, throw you through a Oculus. The Bronx is my metropolis, didn't have a pot to piss. Had to learn not to miss, focus on accomplishments. Beats I'm demolishing, tell me what the problem is. You know you don't want no smoke, seeing you in action is a joke. Catch him with the deadly blow, pack it up, it's time to go. But you wanna call the cops, all that bullshit needs to stop. Super idiot, wine start, hush him out, you can't talk. Merchant to a deadly beast, pick your bones after I feast. You want war, now you want peace, cause shit got thick like Cardi B. What you gonna do when I transform? What you gonna do when I transform? Like my body changing form, you been warned, here comes the storm. What you gonna do when I transform? What you gonna do when I transform? Like my body changing form, you've been warned, here comes the storm. I am here to shatter dreams, welcome to my gathering. Blood is always splattering, where I'm from that's happening. Got that cannon fully tucked, all that blade will give you cuts. Sacrifice to get those bucks, most these rappers looking sus. Smack them with the speed and bust, all you see is blood and guts. Too much sauce like a duck, brush it off the shoulder rust. Camo with a bag full of ammo, strangle the ops from the tangle. Hang your legs, they gonna dangle. Neck broke just like Kurt Angle. In the heart of the deity, bring that pain so easily. Most these bums don't deal with me, eradicate immediately. One monkey don't stop the show, I'll continue with the flow. Catch me at the studio, like time I got the glow. What you gonna do when I transform? What you gonna do when I transform? Like my body changing form, you been warned, here comes the storm. What you gonna do when I transform? What you gonna do when I transform? Like my body changing form, you've been warned, here comes the storm. What you gonna do when I transform? What you gonna do when I transform? Like my body changing form, you've been warned, here comes the storm. What you gonna do when I transform? What you gonna do when I transform? Like my body changing form, you've been warned, here comes the storm.
Executioner! Welcome to the club where them niggas get the bullets. Loaded up guns with the trigger and we pull it. We got bad bitches twerking cause they do this. Run up on us, you get dropped, bitch, you stupid. Stupid, you don't want me pull a knife to a ring fight. Switchblade, blade runner on the king, right? Magic killer on the floor, devil in your six. The art of finesse by fucking on your chick. We don't throw down in the air, we just shoot up. The girl want a beast king cause she chews up. I'm too sweet on the lips, now she booed up. She don't fuck with losers, her niggas just screwed up. These niggas thinking you're the realest, fell off the floor. Started laughing at you stupid niggas. Life is war when you out here grinding and you hustle. I'll make sure that you niggas won't scorn. I'ma leave your ass scorn. Call me Jay White and I'm the switchblade. Hit the blade runner on these bitch maids. Why you little niggas play with Beyblade?
You bow down to the king, I'm your sensei.
I don't give a fuck what you say. Get your ass whooped like buffet. I finesse 3 or 4s like Chris Bay. Yeah, you can keep your mouth closed. Comprende?
I'm over here while I'm with the Bullet Club. Switchblade hit your belly, good to be your dub. Me and LP gotta get it out the mud. Pulverizing hot beats, that's what I love. In the VIP with the vets be, cause the game stay cold like Gretzky. We not playing basketball, don't press me. Man, which dude with their face messy? Got more bars than the boulevard. I'm just like a dealer, stay pulling cars. And unpredictable when I'm fully charged. When your entourage over with a fucking car. Got that rock from China. When she slip that shit, I will grind her. My J's white, you can't find her. Awesome caliber like Illa.
Call me Jay White and I'm the switchblade. Hit the blade runner on these bitch maids. Why you little niggas play with Beyblade?
You bow down to the king, I'm your sensei.
I don't give a fuck what you say. Get your ass whooped like Wu Fei. I finesse 3 or 4s like Chris Bay. Yeah, you can keep your mouth closed. Caprende. Call me Jay White and I'm the switchblade. Hit the blade runner on these bitch maids. Why you little niggas play with Beyblade?
You bow down to the king, I'm your sensei.
I don't give a fuck what you say. Get your ass whooped like Wu Fei. I finesse 3 or 4s like Chris Bay. Yeah, you can keep your mouth closed. Caprende.
1 2 1 2. Yo. Fresh white paper, hip-hop maker. Blasting through the speakers, gonna disturb the neighbors. My mark on the bed, so you know she caught the vapors. Smoking that loud with the Hennessy chaser. Fly like a pilot, she feeling on my privates. I'm drinking like a pirate and fighting like I'm Irish. But I know to be a tyrant, the track is really biting. I'm getting real excited, ain't no time for biting. Lyrical stamina, bring it to an amateur. Pussy slam dancing her, probably on camera. Daily illustrationist, been a hood favorite. Mr. Illy Bang, stay street like the pavement. Architect with the bars, got my weed from Mars. Winning from my slap, will leave your face scarred. Respect my cabinet, put you in the emblem. Light you on fire, so Sage can light a cigarette. Your balls don't got venom just like me. You can't move crowds just like me. Grew up in the struggle just like me. Smoking that good loud, yes indeed. Your balls don't got venom just like me. You can't move crowds just like me. Grew up in the struggle just like me. OTG always succeed. I spit the hot flame just like I was dousing. She rides my cock, her tits is bouncing. Front rush your legs, sweep your face on water fountains. You lost your manhood, still never found it. You think you fly like a child, you're grounded. See you on the avenue, people always clown him. He's an embarrassment, the one that be around him. Throw him into Bronx River, go ahead and drown him. The juggernaut of rap, steady like a spike bat. Catch him with a pimp strap, spitting that whack crap. I beat a silverback, mixed with a beer. Turn up, mix the alcohol with beer. Got that weed smoke in the atmosphere. On my way to the strip club, hell yeah. Beats get body, you can't stop me. I love shorty head game and sloppy. I roll with tyrants that's controlling the environment. Keep tracks firing, keep the streets admiring. All these other bums should be retiring. Give them the pink slip, please just fire them. Balls don't got venom just like me. You can't move crowds just like me. Grew up in the struggle just like me. Smoking that good loud, yes indeed. Your balls don't got venom just like me. You can't move crowds just like me. Grew up in the struggle just like me. OTG always succeed. That's right. God, how you mother scars. Juggernaut of rappers in the goddamn building. Word up, BX representative. Smack the shit out the damn president. Smack the shit out the damn president. Yeah. Go and tell them we on live. Oh yeah, live. We live. Boo, live. Go and tell them we on live. Yes, I can sing too. I'm fucking around. This pump, high powered. I have to be because shit. Look at Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was, we're going to get to it. Anyways, what's going on, everybody out there? Mr. Sandman signing back in real quick with the Council Roundtable. You already know the vibes. Episode 116. We talk about the old-fashioned rats and let y'all know what's happening. I see you, Blaze. I see you, Black Star. You know what I'm saying? Especially Black Star. My dude, Black Star, be pulling up early. Definitely appreciate that. But, it's a number of topics we're going to get into for the night, man. Talk about Matt Hardy. We're going to talk about Raw. We're going to talk about Randy Orton. We're going to talk about Seth Rollins. We're going to talk about the World Heavyweight Championship. We're going to, get into it. But, first and foremost, before we get to the meat and potatoes, got to hit the appetizer first. It's only right. You know what I'm saying? This day in wrestling history. Can't forget about this day in wrestling history. And some people was asking me about that, like, yo, I thought you were gonna be doing, you say this, you talk about the old fashioned wrestling, which I know what's happening. Talk about some old fashioned shit a little bit here and there. You stop talking about that. You need to get back to that. You're right. So this is what I'm gonna do, because I don't want to basically do too much of this day in wrestling history. I'll just do like important moments, historical moments, like maybe one or two, and continue on with the show. Right? This is what we're gonna do. 2010, this day in wrestling history. Rob Van Dam retained the TNA World Heavyweight title against AJ Styles in the main event of TNA Sacrifice from Orlando. Also, Douglas Williams defeated Kazarian to win the TNA X Division title. Sting also defeated Jeff Jarrett, excuse me. Jeff Hardy pinned Mr. Anderson and Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash retained the TNA World Tag Team titles against Jesse Neal and Shannon Moore, right? And unfortunately, this is the day in 2019. This is the day when Ashley Massaro was found dead at the age of 39 in her home in Smithtown, New York. A number of media outlets reported her death as suicide, but this was never officially confirmed publicly by the coroner's office. So, yeah, it's a little, it's sad when it comes to that. Condolences goes out to the Massaro household, and it's really unfortunate, and it's a little skeptical too. That's when your skepticism kicks in when they say her suicide was never officially confirmed publicly by the coroner's office. All right. I guess we gotta take it for what it is, which is unfortunate. Well, yeah, man. Moving on from that, got some birthdays. Happy birthday to David Finley. Happy birthday to Mike Kanellis, the Miracle. You know what I'm saying? The Kingdom, all that fly shit. Like, that was my guy when he was in Impact. The Miracle Mike Kanellis, or Mike Bennett. That was my guy. Now, last but not least, which is funny, is this dude's birthday. Alex Wright. Everybody remember who's talking about Alex Wright? You already know. Alex Wright, a.k.a. Berlin. Let me drop that link again. What's up, ballet dancer? How are you? You gonna do the dance? You gonna do the dance when you pull up, Scott? Go ahead. Do the, I'm gonna put you on camera. You can do the Alex Wright dance. But yeah, man, happy birthday to Alex Wright. Happy birthday to all of them. I see you, Black Star.
What's goody, man?
Hey, man, life is great, but sometimes you gotta hate when it comes to bills. You got I see you, Scott. Yo, Scott, you want me to pull you up? Want me to pull you up while you doing the dance, Scott?
But like to me,
give me like a hand gesture, because I can't hear you backstage. Just say yeah or no, like nod your head or shake your head. All right. So here we go, B. In honor of Alex Wright's birthday, we got LaDwan, a.k.a. Scott, doing the Alex Wright dance. Let's go.
Oh, shit.
call that's a deodorant dance.
That was my favorite wrestler.
What's going on, my dude?
Just because of the dance.
T was good, T. You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody hit the like button. You know what I mean? Just make sure you wipe your feet before you step in the house, please. Hit that like button. What's going on?
Like things are just getting sad in wrestling.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And
they
would
like Randy Orton.
I read, today was the day when Ashley Massaro supposedly had committed suicide.
Yeah, I heard of that.
Who?
Like Randy Orton retired, I kind of guess.
Oh yeah,
just by not seeing him for a few months. But Matt Hardy, my God, just fix your fucking password.
Yeah, Daz Wonderkin. I think Berlin.
I think Randy Orton might want to have one more match before he retires.
Hold on, wait. Let's do one thing at a time, because I know I like to throw a lot of topics at you guys at once. Let's start. Since you pulled up first, Black Star, let's start with Matt Hardy. Go ahead. What you think? What y'all thought about the whole Matt Hardy incident? Black Star, you go first.
Like, it just reeks of stupidity. It's either one of two things. He was either hacked and he didn't change his password, which is stupid all by itself, or he was drunk and he decided to be a part of the KKK for one night.
You think he's back on the sauce?
He's
either one of those two things.
He's a Hardy. Of course, he's on the sauce. But is this when he went after NBA YoungBoy?
Yeah, like that was an NBA YoungBoy. It was the other dude. I forgot his name. The other rapper name. Tell him why he didn't slide.
Blueface?
Why he didn't slide for King Von.
Oh, King Von.
No, he wasn't talking about King Von. He was. Damn, who the fuck is this dude?
Blueface?
Who?
No, not Blueface.
Blueface?
No, not Blueface. It's King Von Peoples. He popping right now. Lil Durk. There you go. Fly Blaze. Yeah.
You know what? Maybe he did. Maybe he did get hacked because
because people were saying that he could have been hacked because what does the Hardy Boys know about rap? I'm like, the Hardy Boys actually listen to rap. Don't get it fucked up. They listen to rap.
But if he's happy, he can't be that stupid.
You see?
I don't think they're that. I don't think they're that stupid to purposely do that.
Really, this the Hardy Boys you're talking about here.
Well,
even
this is why Seth Rollins didn't get the push he got, because people don't know how to stay off their damn Twitter account.
Bro, I said this many times. To me, social media being involved in wrestling ruined wrestling.
Yeah, you did. You did say that. You did.
Wrestlers getting social media may have been the worst thing that they could have done.
Why you think Vince told his WWE stars to delete Twitch? There's a reason for it.
No, we're not gonna do that.
Not quit. I wouldn't necessarily get rid of Twitch.
The reason why he told the wrestlers to delete Twitch is mainly because he wasn't getting
money. They're making money off that shit.
Right.
That's why.
And he wasn't getting a piece of that shit, so he wasn't trying to hear that shit.
Yeah,
besides making the money, it's still part of some type of platform, and wrestlers can't be trusted.
Well, here's the thing though, because they was always using Twitch from before the pandemic, and during the pandemic, that was really like their main source of income. Because you got to remember, around that time, they wasn't throwing no shows. So that means people ain't really buying merchandise like how they used to. They also buy merchandise like online and shit, but You gotta exit out the people that buy the merch when they go to the actual events. You gotta subtract that. So they taking a major pay cut, and then not only that, they're not traveling. So that's another pay cut. So they needed that shit. You know what I'm saying? And when Vince McMahon seen the numbers, like when it came like Zelina Vega or Paige, like they was getting paid like a motherfucker. Like what? Just to play video games and talk shit with their tits out. So Vince was trying to hear that. Vince was like, that doesn't work for me, pal. I need some of that right now.
WWE got shareholders, and the shareholders ain't trying to hear about one of their investees popping a titty on a fucking social media.
Well, I'm being eccentric.
But I heard they got their Twitch back though.
Yeah, they got it back.
Now they did.
They wasn't really like putting their tits out, but so like they would have like a tank top on. So like a Paige or whatever, she got big tits or whatever. Her tits won't be out, but if you see the top of her tits or the top of her breasts in the tank top, that's what I mean.
There's gotta be some branch that follows social media stuff, and I guarantee the one thing that WWE does not want to find out is like, these leaked photos of these girls going, they got some freaks in the WWE. If you ever just look up leaked photos, I think there's like photos of almost every diva showing her titties or showing her little kitty area, with the exception of Naomi and
Sasha
and Bianca.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh yeah.
Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, and Bianca Belair.
There was
Sorry
photos
about that,
leaked. There was photos leaked of Sasha Banks. It was
I never know about that.
So sometimes I think it ain't really about the money because they're gonna make the money 4 times over. But when you're public,
they would. But we all know WWE is greedy. They want all the money.
But you ever thought about bad publicity? Like honestly, these guys, this is a public trading organization. If it wasn't public, I think they wouldn't care what these other platforms are doing. But when you're trying to push something like, let's say, you're trying to push the next diva star, and you got Natalia's big thick ass posting some outrageous shit with her sister, now that stops your plans.
But look at that. Look at that. You made a great example. Look at that.
Natalia and her sister, they do got an OnlyFans, so
and they never got she never got penalized for that ever.
Well, they caught it before it got exposed, so they put an end to it. And then
they still do anything. What do you mean?
They're still doing it now. Bro.
Yeah.
She don't be on TV like that. I'm talking about
my dude. Natalia is in a feud with fucking Rhea Ripley. What are you talking about?
One-off match. That's about it. I'm talking about, let's say, God forbid, their biggest star right now, Bianca Belair, is doing some freaky shit with her husband, Montez Ford.
Here's the thing, right?
It gets leaked to the public.
We get too far off. Here's the thing. What I was trying to explain, right? All these dudes was doing on Twitch is playing video games. That's all they was really doing, and they was making some extra cash during the pandemic. And
not your boy Xavier Woods. He was all rated R up in there.
Well, that was before the whole pandemic incident. That was before all of that. And speaking of Xavier Woods, Blaze asked how much was Vince getting for up. He was getting everything. He didn't even own. Xavier Woods didn't even own the properties to up, down, down. He didn't own the properties to that. That was a licensed WWE product, and that's why he staged. He wanted to stage it cool. He was about to sit that shit out. Like, look, like I'm doing all this content, giving you great content, and y'all niggas ain't giving me a fucking dime.
Exactly.
Fuck that. Like WWE ain't shit when it comes to money and shit. They want all the money. They want it all.
Like if I was Woods, man, if I was Woods, I would have been tried to get copyrights to that shit before the channel even started.
Because he probably get his little under the table paper, but it's nothing to what WWE is getting over the table. They making bank off of up down to this day. And none of these motherfuckers, them motherfuckers in the suits, they don't play no video game. Vince McMahon and them, they don't play no fucking video games, but they getting paid over that shit though.
Them suits up in that big office don't know nothing about video games or social media, but they're getting more than half of the wrestlers' bread off of their buzz and publicity. So
right. Triple Xavier Woods. I like that.
Wow.
That should be his new gimmick when he leaves the New Day.
Oh God.
But I'll tell you this much right now. Matt Hardy better pray to God that people believe this he was hacked bullshit.
Oh please, what does he care? He's already fucking rich. He'd be all right.
And plus, nobody's really making a big deal out of it now. So
because he's in the twilight, he's like past the twilight of his career. Him and Jeff, like they're already on their way out. Who cares?
Yeah.
They made it clear that once if or when they do become AEW tag champs, it's going to be the end. So what are they really? They just basically on a retirement tour right now.
Yeah, no way, yeah. And they're still young.
They're not getting it anymore.
Like they're not even 50 years old.
Nah, them dudes ain't young compared to the bumps they took.
Yeah, like yeah. Wrestling years, yeah. And wrestling years, they old, yeah.
Yeah. But let this sink in, though. Matt and Jeff Hardy
over the past couple of years.
Yeah, but let this sink in, though, y'all. The Hardys, Matt and Jeff, are on the verge of doing something that no other tag team has ever done.
What, wrestle in every era?
Yeah, wrestle on every era and win every tag title on every era and every promotion.
Did they win the WCW tag team belts?
They did.
No, they have not.
Yeah, they did.
They won the TNA, they won the ROH, and they won the WWE.
No, they won the tag titles on WCW during the Invasion era.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that one.
Who did they beat? You remember who they beat?
Yeah, I remember that match. They beat a random tag team. It was Booker T and Test at the time.
Oh, yo, they was pushed.
Like
they pushed them good. Okay.
I thought they beat Chronic.
It was both teams.
Chronic lost to the Dudleys.
Oh, this is a good question. Did they ever win the ECW belts? I don't think they won the ECW tag belts. No, they never won those.
Nah, but the thing is, in their defense, though, they never brought those ECW tag titles back. So once they put it out of business, so
they was around.
Yeah, they did.
But as a consolation, Matt Hardy did win the heavyweight belt in ECW, well, WWECW. So there you go.
That ain't no heavyweight title.
Oh, that a point.
Hey, it's in the record books.
No, hell no.
Bro, I would rather count Matt Hardy's world title reign on TNA before I count that one.
Oh, that was a much better reign. It was
the Big Money Mac coming out and his theme song said, "I am iconic." Yo, that used to have me weak, bro.
Yeah, I like it's it's unfortunate they ain't let that Big Money Matt character breathe, because not too long after that, that's when he did the whole broken universe gimmick.
Yeah, Broken Matt was funny.
You can thank Lita and Adam Copeland for us never getting a Matt Hardy World Heavyweight Champion.
Well, we got to think of it like this also. Vince never seen him as a heavyweight champion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was just a tag team specialist.
Yeah, that's what Vince seen him as. And when Vince got his mind made up, you gotta do everything. Then we lost T. You already know what to do, T. If you can hear us, just hit the link.
When he was Hardy version 1.0, that was when he came back looking super swole. That could have been their opportunity.
Well, even then, he was considered a mid-carder. He didn't even win a belt. Did he even win the belt when he was on version 1? I don't even
He won a cruiserweight title.
Well, yeah, that was also the Triple H reign of terror.
I see you, T.
Yeah.
To me, like, Matt is just sad.
We got to do a topic about the Triple H reign of terror and how many people he royally screwed over during that time.
You call it the Triple H reign of terror era. I call it the burial of WCW era, because literally all of his championship defenses were WCW guys. Up until 2004.
I didn't think of it like that.
So dirty.
Up until 2000.
Like you got a point. Big Papa Pump, Goldberg,
Kevin Nash 3 times, RVD, literally up until 2004. No, not even 2004, because Chris Benoit was a WCW guy too. So literally up until he fought Batista, it was a WCW burial.
Well, actually, he didn't bury Benoit. Benoit was one of the few.
He buried Kane.
He buried Kane.
Boy, did he ever. Boy, did he ever.
Man. But like I said,
I got the tweets pulled up. This dude tries to go out to Brooks Anderson II. He I guess he snatched up the tweets before it got deleted. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can share screen. Hold on, so we can all see it.
Gotta go back to the Wayback Machine.
Right. Charles Wayne's World.
Party time. Excellent.
All right, I'm about to share screen right now.
Had the hottest.
Just let me know if y'all can see it. Let me know if y'all can see it.
The hottest Asian chick in America at that time.
The funniest one was when he said that he fucked.
Oh, Tia Carrere. Oh God, Tia Carrere.
Oh
my God, she was so bad.
oh Lord.
Y'all can see it.
Took it off that one.
Yeah, we're looking at something. Oh, let me zoom. God darn it. Matt Hardy got hacked, and the hacker
is wild.
Okay, y'all can see that, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we can read it together.
Oh Lord.
Nah, that ain't Matt Hardy.
That's not Matt. That's definitely not Matt Hardy.
That ain't Matt.
That's crazy.
The fact
ain't no way in hell.
The fact that said "hoe ass nigga," that ain't Matt.
Exactly. Come on. After that tweet, I'm like, yep, Matt's definitely hacked.
His password must be password.
It's the only thing Matt Hardy's guilty of is not protecting his Twitter. That's it.
Right, I agree.
And that makes him a moron.
Yeah, he's a moron for that. But as far as these tweets goes, this ain't him.
Because here's the thing: if it really was Matt Hardy, he would not emphasize of using the A. It would have been ER.
You got a point. That's a good point. And it's just he's like, okay, he told Rebby Hart, oh, I'm trying to fuck, haha, Matt Hardy, get deleted, whole ass nigga, psych, bitch, it's still me. You ain't getting this shit back.
That sounds like a straight brother.
Some dude from the hood, right?
Yeah,
that's
one of them young motherfuckers from the hood.
So the point is,
and as a matter of fact,
common sense.
Yeah, definitely. And not only that, you see the third comment when he said, psych, bitch, it's still me. You ain't getting this shit back, gang.
Yep.
Oh, God. That right there, he's actually talking to this dude, talking to Matt Hardy. I guess Matt Hardy was trying to get his account back, and he said that shit.
And if it was a problem, Tony Khan would have removed them off the TV indefinitely, or made a statement.
We both know Tony Khan has no balls.
And this is when Matt Hardy took control of his account again, right here. Sorry, everyone, I got hacked, but I have since regained access. Sorry for all of the vulgar tweets / messages in the past few hours. I will be removing them and restoring my account back to normal.
Nothing deep in detail, but it's a quick response. But I guarantee he addressed that to the executives before he made an action. So no harm, no foul.
Yeah, so
I wish I could feed you so much in kebab wrap. What the fuck?
What he eating?
Chicken kebab. That like a chicken gyro, I think.
Oh.
Those are awesome, by the way. I love chicken kebabs, chicken gyros, all that. Lamb gyros.
It's better when you kill them yourself and you pluck them and you stir it. It's awesome cooking. Nah, I ain't never killed a chicken before.
Unless you got a farm that you ain't tell me about. Like you got a farm somewhere? You got something popping over in the farmland?
Honestly, poultry and turkey and ostrich is probably the hardest thing to kill because you're not supposed to hit the body cavity. You either gotta grab them by the neck, chop his head off, or you do or like when you go turkey hunting, you have to use a bow and arrow. You can't use no slug. Yeah.
Huh.
Because gunpowder creates bacteria.
Yeah, it'll fuck the meat up. Pause.
So honestly, the only animal that you can really get allowed with killing with a rifle is like a deer or a boar. And here's my favorite dog. Hey, buddy.
Send me my money back or I'll release the video of me fucking your wife. And no, I don't give a fuck if she's a government official. Jesus, that's savage. Lord knows Linda McMahon probably does need some cock.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to OG Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, I think Eric Bischoff wanted to smash. That shit with him and Linda, that shit was a shoot.
that
segment was a shoot.
Oh,
come
man.
on. And you know what? What better way to get back at Vince McMahon to sleep with his wife?
He really lip locked with her too. That's the crazy.
Eric Bischoff was funny as shit.
And he lip locked with Stephanie. Stephanie was not faking that shit.
Word.
Stephanie a whole freak.
I forgot
Stephanie
about
was
that.
looking bad in that witch's outfit. Yo, young Stephanie, around that age, like I guess she's like in her early 30s. When she was a general manager of SmackDown, oh my god.
For 2002 to 2006, Stephanie had it going.
Yeah, that's when she was the GM of SmackDown. That was like the greatest she ever looked. Now, now she looked like fucking Popeye or some shit. She ain't.
She don't. She's just.
That was when Vince McMahon fixed her.
She's too diesel. Like she's way too muscular now. That shit ain't it.
She better immediately surgery.
No. You want to see? You know who fell off? Even though she did hit the wall and she is 60 now.
I see you, Tove.
Jacqueline does not look the same. But what do you expect from a 60-year-old woman?
Well, I seen Jacqueline recently. She didn't look bad for her age, especially.
No, but I said, well, what do you really expect from a 60-year-old woman? We talking about how Jacqueline looked in the WCW day. That's why I'm always gonna remember her as, and a little bit of TNA.
Yeah, TNA. She was looking good at TNA also. Yeah. Tove.
Jim Cornette, huh, Tove?
Yeah, this is gonna be Jim's face this time tomorrow. Get ready, boys.
What's going on tomorrow?
Punk's coming back, bro. living under
So
a
you
fucking.
calling it? You calling it now?
There's no calling. He's coming back tomorrow, bro.
Honestly,
Get ready.
who really cares that Punk is coming back? He done so much shit.
Well, we'll see tomorrow, bro.
He
That's
made
all I gotta say.
amends. Then he
coming,
went
man.
everywhere and made amends to everybody.
All I gotta say is enjoy the calm before the storm. It's peaceful and quiet right now. Not much going on. That ain't gonna be the case this time tomorrow. So make sure you guys have your vitamins. Eat your vitamins and say your prayers, brother. Make sure you have a good breakfast.
As long as he don't bring a dog in there, I don't think there should be any problems. And
You think
the wrestling world needs this shit. It needs that.
But how do you think they're going to bring
chairs
him in?
from the locker room?
The problem will start by All In.
What's going to happen is, they're going to do the little thing in New York. We got some unconfirmed reports. He's in New York right now. They're going to make the business decision of announcing Collision at Madison Square Garden. Probably going to be in the afternoon. I would say maybe noon, 1 o'clock around there. But you can expect that CM Punk will be officially announced to come back at the Collision. So now I don't think you'll see him like in person on Dynamite, but you can.
Why don't you wait until the first show? Don't announce him now. What the fuck?
They don't know how to.
No, they're going to announce. They're going to announce that he's
Black
returning. There's going to announce that he's returning.
No, I wouldn't even. That's what Black Star was trying to say. Remember, I told you the same thing, Tove. I won't even announce it. This should happen.
But the thing about it is that the thing about Punk is it's the worst kept secret anyway. People already know. So
yeah, we do already
have
know.
Him show up.
Him announcing it makes it even worse to me. And to Black
do
Star.
you think they could? But do you think they could do that again? Do you think they could do we're going to say he's coming without saying he's coming, but it won't be as cool? Like, do you think they can do that again? It worked the first time. I don't know if it'll work this time.
But here's a difference. Have him attack somebody. Have him attack like an Omega or something. Do it like that.
Well, they're not going to do that because they're doing the Blackpool stuff. That's unrelated. They got to let that. That's a different thing.
True that.
They might have Punk align with Don Callis to follow up him turning on him.
Yeah, like
he already did.
Keep Punk off the internet. That's all they got to do. Don't mention Punk. Remember how they did
Punk normally don't be on the internet though. If you think of it, he's rarely tweeting. He rarely tweets.
Yeah, remember how they did Roman Reigns? We had no idea he was popping up on SummerSlam.
See, I think any stuff with the Elite is not happening. I think any stuff with the Elite is not happening anytime soon because the reports right now are saying that Punk is pitching for a program with Joe, and Jericho wants to work him. So I think the Elite and Punk are going to be kept far apart. So any idea of him attacking Kenny or the Bucks, I don't see that happening.
And I think that should happen. Like,
Jericho, they better not put him in a program with Jericho because Jericho.
This dude Jericho wrestled like he got mashed potato on his boots.
Leave the wizard alone, okay? Leave him alone.
He wrestles with cement boots. He's very slow now. And
he's
Jericho's
years old.
But it is what it is. He's slow now. He's of age now.
And he's trash.
No, he's not trash.
I won't say he's trash, but he's more like he's much slower now in the ring. He's not like the old school, like, you know what I mean, like Y2J, the real Y2J, Chris Jericho, like when he was in WWE, excuse me.
No, I can't say he's trash. What I can say is that his feuds just go on too long. Not every feud needs to be 3-4 months or whatever. When he was the Ring of Honor champion or the Ocho, that was a cool run. He was just having matches of different people every week. It was cool.
I like that now, but now he sucks.
But can we be honest? Was Jericho ever known as a flyer though? He was
of course.
Yeah, in his prime.
Yo, Scott, you like 0 for 10 right now.
No, really. He wasn't that athletic. I mean,
yes, he was.
He can do
talking about this trademark move was a lion salt.
That's about it.
But he go ahead, y'all talk to Scott, please.
He wasn't as agile as the Undertaker. Now that's
more agile than the Undertaker.
You know what?
Don't you shit on the. don't you shit on the Undertaker?
He was way more agile than
He was
Undertaker,
way
bro.
more agile than Undertaker. What are you talking about?
Which Jericho are you
Nah.
talking about? Because EC.
Okay, look,
Go ahead.
let me ask him a question real quick.
I'm talking about Undertaker that used to jump over the ropes.
My dude,
Jericho could do that.
Jericho was always more agile than the Undertaker. What are you talking about?
Y'all ain't gonna be
Like, are
shitting
you
on
giving
my
the
boy the
fact that he's
Undertaker.
6'9" doing all this into consideration?
Yes, because they ain't nobody. Let's do the comparison. Remember what Undertaker used to do, and think about what Top Dollar tried to do, and almost killed himself.
I grew up on Jericho. Okay, when he was in the ECW and WCW, he was doing high flying moves all the time. When he went to WWE and gained a little bit more muscle, he toned it down a little bit, but he would still do the occasional high flying move. Then when he reinvented himself as when he started wearing the suits, the whole like, do you understand what I'm saying to you right now? Like the suit version, the whole Jericho. That was when he just basically fully transitioned into a traditional heavyweight, and he stopped doing high flying moves completely. And since then, it's just been regular. But in his prime, he was very athletic. But I personally think he should stop doing the lion salt.
But to me, Taker was more athletic because he's 6'9" doing all this. No 6'9".
I mean, but what athletic moves did he do?
If you put it in that, if you put it in a sense like that, then I guess. But this dude Jericho had more high flying moves in his arsenal than Undertaker, and it's not a shot towards him. I'm just being logical.
Taker only did the dives every now and then. It wasn't like he was doing it all the time. I can count on one hand how many times he did a dive back in the Attitude Era.
Come on. No, but he did old school though.
He did old school.
Some athleticism.
Anybody can do old school, bro. He was just the only one that did it.
No, not everybody can do it.
Bro, Lance Archer is bigger than Taker, and he can do it better than Taker did.
He did?
I never seen Lance Archer. I gotta look that up. Hold up. I gotta look that
Lance
one
Archer's done it into a moonsault. Way better than Taker ever did.
Really? Lance Archer? Now that's pretty impressive. I'm gonna look that up right now.
He did it on Dynamite. Remember? He fell on his head almost. It was a kind of a scary moment.
Okay, him falling on his head means that he can't do it.
Well, here's the thing.
He has done it. He just fell on his head at that time. That's all.
But do people have to hold his hand when he does it? Let's keep it real.
Everybody hand gotta get held when they do old school. Nobody doing that.
Not old school. We're talking about him doing a somersault, correct? Or a moonsault.
No, I'm talking about old school.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Lance Archer.
All the moves are the same. What it comes down to is camera editing, making it look believable. Like the one criticism that I always hear is, and this isn't an AEW thing, this is a pro wrestling thing, where like someone's going for a dive and you just see like the wrestlers just standing there waiting. That's always been a thing. The difference is 20 years ago, the camera footage was better, where the camera would focus on the person outside the ring, so you wouldn't see the person inside the ring coming. That way,
unless
when they
you're
jumped,
Darby Allin,
it looked like it came out of nowhere.
Unless you Darby Allin.
The Elite Skipper one was the best one. Was the best one.
Darby Allin does the best dives in the world because he does it in a safe way, but he looks like he's trying to hurt his opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Darby Allin looks like he's gonna die.
Look at a random Rey Mysterio match in like '96 on Nitro. He would do like a scissors on Ultimo Dragon or Dean Malenko. They go out the ring, and the camera would focus on the person outside the ring. That way, when Mysterio did a crazy dive, from the perspective of like if you're watching on TV, it looked like Rey just came out of nowhere. The camera editing was a lot better in the '90s.
He's holding his hand. Whose hand is
it? Can you see?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Ultimo Dragon. I never liked him.
Why?
You
don't like Bruce Lee?
He just was not my cup of tea.
He's killing it. Look, he doing the damn thing.
Yeah,
he does it all the time.
He
look.
You're not seeing that shit.
But they also embracing him, honestly,
that's a longer version though.
This dude had done the same thing. Undertaker.
No. Undertaker don't.
They hold Undertaker hand also.
No, this is what I liked about Undertaker's old school. He got somebody's hand. He does 2 steps and he jumps. What you just showed me is the wrestler walking with this person like he's following him, trying to hold his balance.
Oh yeah,
That's what I don't like about today's wrestling.
You know what? You got a point. Because when I remember when Commander did that shit up against this dude, Jay White, I didn't like that at all. That looked so dumb. That looked so stupid. I hated that.
I remember you called out Commander during that Jay White match.
Yeah, you know, on my TikTok.
Dude almost
get this
crashed
goofy
and
shit
burned.
the fuck up out of there. That shit was goofy as hell.
Bro almost fell on the back of his head doing that shit.
Yeah, almost killed himself for that ridiculous spot. Now, shit like that, I'll give you that, Scott. Because
you know what? That's probably
Undertaker was
why...
more believable because Undertaker would twist your arm and then he would just walk across one rope and that's it. And then he would just jump on you.
The high flying move that's not believable at all. The high flying move that's the least believable. Alberto Del Dipshit did it when he came back. So I see some people do it. The fucking move.
Oh, the double foot stomp from the second rope.
Yeah.
I hate that move too.
You're holding yourself up. You're holding yourself up to get hit. It's like just move out the way. Like, and
I hated that move too.
Now, what Nyla Rose does, and I barely ever mention Nyla. Nyla has a similar move where she does the slap shot suplex and she puts you like on the top rope, and then she goes and she hits the knee and you tip over. That's more believable because you're on your stomach, so you can't see it coming. And of course, one
small problem about Nyla Rose though, she's a dude.
Well, I'm just simply complimenting the move. It's a better version of it. That's all.
Okay.
Now I know Black Saw talking about basically like since Nyla Rose is a dude, you got more strength than a female to pull off that move. I understand what he means.
I'll be honest. I think Toni Storm's finisher should just be that move where she just like hits you with her ass in the corner. It's believable.
Oh,
right,
since we're talking about finishers, can we stop seeing these variations of the go to sleep? It looks terrible.
The variation of who?
Of the go to sleep.
GTS.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh. Let's see. R, you gotta admit this. Your boy Austin Theory got the worst finisher.
Yeah,
that 8-town down thing.
I understand Austin Theory's in limbo right now, but
great
can't
name,
get on the 8-town down.
Yeah, finish. The name is great, but the finish,
it don't even look like it's gonna
it's a spinning. What is this? It's TKO face buster.
It's a combination of the go to sleep, but you're doing it like you're doing
it's a face buster. TKO. Can you remember the TKO, right?
He's gonna
like you're doing the attitude.
But
it's like you're doing the attitude
a new finisher at some point. But they probably have him doing that because even though it's lame, it's very safe and it won't hurt him. And he's young, and they probably see him as a prospect. So, but
remember what I told you.
The best version is Zoe Stark.
I think
is Zoe Stark.
Go ahead, Black Soul.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying that I think this dude, his new gimmick should be like some narcissist Lex Luger type shit. Like have him really be on that type of shit because he's young, he got the look, he got the body and all that shit. Like have him like on some modern day Adonis type shit.
I don't know. I like Beard Austin Theory.
He can have a beard.
What he's trying to do is he's trying to do what Jay White did. Because when Jay White, when he first got his big break in New Japan, he just had like this baby face, like literally his face, right? And it wasn't working. And then he just started growing out his beard and he had like the facial hair and just for whatever
became
reason,
more rugged.
Right. It worked for him, but it doesn't work for everybody. Some people can pull it off. Some people can't pull it off. And it's not really working in my opinion, but we'll see, I guess.
Shit.
Excuse me.
Y'all got anything else to say about Matt Hardy? So I was going to move on to the next topic.
I think he's going to be all right.
What about Matt? He got hacked. What else is there to say about him?
Exactly.
It was funny to talk about
it. Let's talk about some women's wrestling.
Hold on. Before we get to that, I wanted to talk about this dude, Randy Orton. Y'all know about this dude, doctor, basically advising him to quit, wrap it up.
When
He
you
should
do
listen.
RKOs for years and land on your back for over 20 years, something's got to give. It's kind of like when Nikki Bella did that rack attack; it compressed her neck. So
Yeah, you got a point.
I actually thought her titties were the problem. That's why she was getting fucked up. Anyway.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, I thought so too.
I think both
I
of
did.
y'all are confused with Charlotte Flair.
No.
Oh God, the elective surgery queen.
Charlotte
Yeah.
Flair's titties don't look like it gets in the way. Nikki Bella's titties look like they cause problems.
Yeah, but Nikki Bella ain't have to take time off for a busted titty, bro. Charlotte did.
We
Charlotte's
don't
tits
know
don't
that.
get in the way. Well, hold on. Charlotte's tits don't get in the way because she doesn't have any. What the fuck you talking about, man?
She do be getting them
Like, did
surgeries
Awesome
though.
Kong bust
Every time
somebody's
she
titty?
takes time off, she comes back with a new surgery, bro. She don't
She
even
be,
look
she be
human
trying to
half the
plump. She be trying to
She
plump up
don't
her
even look
tits.
human half the time.
She don't
Charlotte
look
is
human because she
exactly
don't have the makeup.
Charlotte is exactly what like Gail Kim and Serena Deeb were talking about. She's the prime example of that shit, and it's really fucking sad.
Charlotte looked like she
But yeah,
made out of leather.
didn't Awesome Kong bust somebody's titty like a long time ago?
Yes, she did.
Ooh. Yeah. Ow.
Funny story.
Wow.
Funny story.
That
My
slam.
first job.
Ooh, shit.
Funny story. My first job, I saw a girl bust her titty. And it wasn't a pretty sight.
Silicone.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how we got from radio on the titties.
Oh yeah, the Randy thing.
I think-
yeah,
I
that's
think-
why I've always.
I think we're Randy.
I've always. You go.
But yeah, basically saying that according to was it Game Rant? That's the article. Yeah.
Like the
It's
days of Ric
possible.
Flair are over.
Yeah, WWE star Randy Orton may never wrestle again. Randy Orton has been a consistent presence on WWE television since making his debut on the main roster in 2002. Getting started at Ohio Valley Wrestling, y'all know, yada, yada, yada. You know, him being with RK Bro and all that shit. Yeah, you know. And basically, on his latest storyline, saw him forming an unlikely tag team with Matt Riddle as RK Bro. The oddball couple managed to win the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships twice, ultimately losing the championships to the Usos in what remains Orton's last televised match. Orton's been on TV since 2022 due to a reported back injury, which it now seems may be severe enough that he will never wrestle again. Orton's father, Bob Orton Jr., the ace, spoke to Sportskeeda about his son's absence from WWE, confirming that while Randy Orton has been training for a return to the ring, it may not actually happen. During the interview, Bob Orton Jr. said he thinks that the doctors have advised Orton not to wrestle again, assuming pop-ups. Assuming this is accurate, it would potentially mean that WWE may not medically clear Orton, which would put him on the shelf indefinitely. Man.
To me, what that tells me is that the days of Ric Flair are over, where you can wrestle till you're 60.
And
Still
can you
relevant.
really blame management for that? Because yeah, you may be retiring at a young age, but like what this dude Scott said, yeah, you may be young in age, but when it comes to wrestling years, motherfucker, you old. You put your body on the line for how long? Randy Orton been around? 20 plus years.
21
I believe.
years.
Since he debuted in 2002, so at least over 22 years.
Yeah, 21 years.
Yep, 21 years. Randy Orton became champion at age 24.
And he was wrestling before that. So he probably was around for like 25, 26 years wrestling.
At least.
Well, let's go to Wikipedia.
Well,
Let's
it's
go to
2020. It's
Randall Orton.
2023 now.
Let's go to
He,
Randall Keith Orton.
But I say that to say this, right? I'm not just gonna just read the article and that's it. Nah, I like to do my due diligence.
Yep. His
This dude,
professional wrestling career began in 2000 with Mid Missouri.
yeah, he from out here, from KC, right?
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
from St. Louis.
He's from the Loop, and he's proud. He's going downtown, baby. Yo, street in the rainbow, boom, 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 da, boom.
Yo, you know what? I wonder if Randy Orton was on the block with the gangsters and killers.
Get the fuck out of here.
Nah, I'm telling you.
No.
I think Randy Orton probably was invited to a few.
No, he wasn't. Randy Orton was the type that wasn't he like raised on a farm, like walk laser.
He was in the forces.
Not really.
But anyways, I said it to say this, right? Even if he does retire, and which he should, they can still use Randy Orton. He doesn't have to be in the ring. Me?
Yeah, he can be a GM.
Or I was saying that he could be a fucking manager. I could see Randy Orton as a manager.
With who?
Well, I don't know about anybody right now.
Okay.
But I could definitely see him being a manager. Look at Trish.
That's why I always said
it's good for Randy Orton to just retire. He can be around he's a family guy. He can be around his wife and his 2 kids. No, 3 kids. He'll be all right.
Yeah, he would.
That's
but
why I always said
gotta get paid.
His kids are actually
two different moves.
Say that one more time, Joe.
I said that's why I always said the Diamond Cutter and the RKO are 2 different moves. They look similar, but they're not. DDP would always counter into a cravat into the Diamond Cutter. I think that's what the move is called, a cravat. It's like a head hold or something like that. But whereas Randy Orton, the RKO, it looks better.
He would dive into it.
Yeah, you have to dive into it. So technically, the Diamond Cutter is actually safer on your body in the long run because you're kind of transitioning into the fall. Whereas with the RKO, you're jumping, diving into it, like Black Star just said. And so that's why all the damage is adding up all these years. Because when you do a move like that for 20 years, it adds up.
Well,
there's only so many bumps you can take.
It's very hard to compare Randy Orton to Diamond Dallas Page because DDP has something. He incorporated wrestling with yoga, so it's hard to determine that Randy Orton's body was going to deteriorate before Diamond Dallas Page. Diamond Dallas Page is different.
A spectacular asshole.
He's different. DDP is different. He's like 70 years old and still moving like a young man.
Yeah,
and that's all because
that's crazy.
Speaking of Corbin,
DDP hit like what in his mid 40s. He still looks the same since his mid 40s.
Yeah, man. Hygiene. I mean, the genetics is different, man. Like the other day, I was just going through like just the rosters of different wrestlers, and Bobby Roode has got some spinal stuff going on, and I didn't even realize he was 47 because he was always in such great shape. And it's very easy to forget that Lashley's also in his mid 40s and he's in great shape. And,
but to be fair, Rick Rude was on so much roids.
Was he?
There's a lot of guys in their 40s
67
now
years
that are still going like they're 20.
As a matter of fact, speaking of that, isn't Lex Luger walking around now? Lex Luger, I don't really think he's in his wheelchair anymore. Lex Luger walking around.
I don't know about Lex Luger, but I know Steven Richards just started walking again.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up.
That's good. Amen.
Yeah, man. Like, for people out there that's watching, we may make fun of the wrestlers here and there. We may have our favorites and may have the wrestlers that we don't like, but we definitely appreciate them. Like, we don't want them to die and kill over or something like that, because the wrestling business is very difficult.
Well, I'm going to focus on the positive. If Randy is indeed done, then the positive note is that he went out on a high note. RK Bro was a very marketable tag team at the time. Yeah. It was really over. Randy had kind of gotten stale. Matt had helped them get over, so it worked. They went down in a title unification match, so he could say that his last match was he took the L, which is what happens anyway when it's your last match. And I remember when the Bloodline beat them down, they got some NWO type heat in a good way, like the fans were booing and stuff like that. If he's done, I could see him, like if he really can't wrestle again, like if that's it, then he's definitely going to be the #1 Hall of Fame induction next year. And as far as what you just said on who he can manage, well, if he stays out of trouble, I would say Matt Riddle, but I mean, I don't think he could be a manager. I think he could be more of like kind of an associate or acquaintance, someone that you could
An advisor.
But right, an advisor. But that would be under the impression that Matt stays out of trouble, which is seemingly hard for him to do. But
well, Randy's already treating. Randy's already started treating his kids.
Oh.
So
Go ahead.
Randy's already started training his kids. So.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
One thing that's for sure, no one's catching Ric Flair. Nobody on the men's side.
You don't think everybody's gonna break that record?
Cena's retiring, Orton's retiring. It's over. No one's catching.
Yeah,
Charlotte's gonna break it, but even though it's a fake record, just want to put that out there.
The thing that killed me is that you're gonna wait till the dude pass, then break it. Like, break it while he's still around, so he could, on some real shit.
They're gonna have Charlotte break it. They're gonna have her break it. But again, I must say, it is a fake record. Ric Flair.
Come to think of it, it would have been better if they would have brought the new belt out. If somebody would have took this new record down and have Ric Flair present somebody with that new World Heavyweight Championship, that would have been a nice moment right there.
That might work.
I mean, Randy Orton was the closest to break it, but now if he is going to retire, I don't think anybody will.
They don't.
I just told you Charlotte's going to break the fake record. I've said it like 3 times.
Yeah, we're ignoring you.
Name me one, bro. Name me one, bro.
We ignore you.
Name me one Charlotte Flair.
Like that.
Name me one Charlotte Flair.
Ain't nobody trying to see that shit. Oh God, why are you jinxing that shit? Oh.
I'm not jinxing it. It's very clear that's what they're doing. That's why they keep giving her belts, even though she doesn't do shit with it. Even though she's not a draw.
I just caught an instant aneurysm off of that shit.
But it doesn't matter, bro. It's a fake record anyway. We all know it's fake. It's not real. Ric Flair.
Yeah. How much you want to bet that they're going to bring Charlotte Flair back and she's going to beat Bianca?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be next year. Not anytime soon. So don't worry about it. Not anytime soon.
She's gonna cash in. She's gonna cash in Charlotte in the bank, and there you go.
Charlotte in the bank.
Yeah, she did it. She did it with fucking Ronda Rousey.
But speaking of the women's division, man, talk about an absolute fall from grace. I was looking at Raw the other day, and just seeing fucking Raquel, whatever her name is, being attacked by Ronda and Shayna, and like Ronda tripped.
That attack was funny as shit.
And she was attacking her, and like it was just like no reaction at all. Like, I know I always give Ronda a hard time, but there is always a part of me that was like, yeah, but she's still a star. Like that segment where she attacked Raquel and like nobody cared, I was just like, wow, this has to be one of the biggest fall from graces I've ever seen in WWE history. When I mean fall from grace, I mean someone that came in with such huge fanfare, was a main eventer, was a champion. And now she's like nowhere sniffing it. And it's just like, not only is she not anywhere near that scene, it's like no one even notices. She's just another person now. I've never seen someone fall that hard.
After Ronda Rousey's first run, the mystique was gone, bro. Like everybody's sick of her.
Yep.
She doesn't
give a shit.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And fans see it. If fans see that you don't care, they're not going to care. And Ronda has made it perfectly clear that she doesn't. And to be honest, I feel bad for Shayna Baszler, to be honest, because she's dragging her down. Shayna Baszler, one of the most dominant NXT Women's Champions, the most feared woman on that roster, who should be a multi-time women's champion, is not.
She's a fucking
now she's just Ronda Rousey's lack.
She's a multi-time waste of time. Like how he ruined
like,
Shayna Baszler
And
was
that's on
fucking
trips.
criminal.
And that's on trips. People ain't gonna go after him though.
Yeah, because she was losing on Triple H watch also. Like, what happened?
please,
When
I'm
Triple
going
H,
after. Please,
the
I'm
first
going
time
after. I'm
Triple H,
keeping the same
the first time
energy with
Triple H was in
everybody.
charge of creative, that's when he's supposed to be like, okay, I'm back. Yo, Shayna Baszler, that's it. Like, we're gonna turn you back into a killer. She was looking up at the lights when Triple H was in charge too. And it's like, hello.
Bro, they had Shayna Baszler lose to fucking. When I saw Shayna lost to fucking Lana, I was like, yeah, there's no recovering for her.
Yes, Triple H is ballet dancer. Because Triple H, we all know Triple H, he's a yellow back. This motherfucker has no spine. His spine is like jelly.
All right,
I am going to say
speaking of the
this.
women's division, Terrence and I we were talking last night, and this is the big issue here. Okay, putting Vince aside, because Solo Monster and a few other podcasters, they've gone off on this, and we've never actually officially acknowledged it here on the roundtable. So I'm gonna go ahead here. The biggest failure, whether or not Vince is in control or not, the biggest failure of the Triple H era has been the women's division. And I've said a few times, as I've gotten into it with Sandman a few times, that everybody gives Triple H credit for the women's division in NXT. But I said that was not Triple H. That was Regal. That was Dusty. It was Dusty. Dusty was the one that got the 4 Horsewomen. And then fucking Regal was the one that got Asuka. He was the one that got Shayna. He was the one that got Ember Moon. He was the one that was recruiting. All Triple H did was he just signed them.
Signed the check.
And he's getting exposed. Ever since he's taken over, the women's division is the weakest ever been. So last night there was a segment with Rhea Ripley, and she was confronted by Natalya. And so Terrence, on the chat yesterday, you're like, why Natalya? Why are they giving her? And I said, because they don't have anybody else. And sometimes when you have a visual, it can really tell a story. So I have the Raw roster right in front of me, okay? These are all the girls on Monday Night Raw right now, all right? Here's the roster. Becky Lynch, she's in a feud with Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus, she's a part-timer and in a feud with Becky. So Rhea can't challenge them. You have Kathy Kelly, she's an announcer. Can't use her. You have Candice LeRae. She's Johnny Gargano's wife. Nobody cares. She's not over. You have Dana Brooke. She seems to have a social media following. I always see hashtag give Dana Brooke a chance. But every time she's on TV, she's booked in a way where it's like you're not supposed to care about
They changed their mind. Give Dana Brooke a chance. You know what? I changed my mind.
we got Emma, who's done absolutely nothing since he's come back. We have Indy Hartwell, who just got called up, so the fans don't know who she is. You have Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, former NXT Women Tag Champs. I like them both, but again, they just showed up. Main roster doesn't know who she is. You have Liv Morgan and you have Raquel, who are tag team champions. And so since they're tag teams, they can't really be involved with Rhea. You have Maxine Dupree, who hasn't wrestled a single match. You have Nikki Cross, who isn't doing anything. You have Piper Niven, who's not doing anything. And then you have Natalya. You have nobody. There is literally nobody. Nobody has been built up enough to challenge Rhea Ripley. So therefore,
they're not having any matches. And that's sad. You heard that? You see that roster that you just said? You named a few chicks on there that's good. They could mesh some of them together, not on screen, but behind the scenes, have them train and build a motherfucking tag team roster for the bitches.
Now hold up. Let me
to be fair, Joey Stark is solid.
Right. Now here's the SmackDown division. Here are the girls currently on SmackDown. All right, because now Bianca is the same. Because here's the thing, right?
Good, Marcus Brown. Thanks a lot, ballet dancer. Appreciate you.
It's cool, right? Because one of the things that WWE's doing, right? Because this is unheard of. Like we've never had so many long reigning champions at the same time. You got Roman as champ, you got Gunther as champ, you got Bianca as champ. But see, the bad thing is when you have all these long reigns at the same time, there needs to be believability as far as the challenger is concerned. So when you have not built your division, there is none. So here's Bianca Belair on SmackDown, right? She's been champion for over a year. She's been the longest reigning women's champion of the modern era, so they say. Here's the SmackDown women's roster, right? You got Alba Fire, one half of the NXT Women's Tag Champions, but again, just got caught up. Fans don't know who she is. You got Asuka, okay. You got B-Fab, okay. You got
She
Bailey,
can't
all
wrestle.
right. You got Charlotte, she's on a break again. You got Dakota Kai. You got Io Sky. You got Isla Dawn, another half of the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. You got Kayla Braxton, again, she's an
What?
announcer. You got Lacey Evans, nobody cares. You got Michin, aka Jade, aka Mia Yim, who could be something, but they're not using her. You got
I don't get it.
Shotzi, who's just completely fallen off. I remember Shotzi when she was in NXT. There was a lot of people speaking highly of her. She seemed like she really had a big future.
Yeah.
She's just another
She was
person.
the most over on NXT.
Remember
She's
she,
extremely solid. I
her
like
and yeah, her and what's that the Black Xena? What's her name again? I forgot her name.
Ember Moon.
Ember Moon, yeah.
Yeah,
Her
right,
and
right.
Ember Moon, when they was a tag team champions and they was coming through on the tank, that shit was fun as hell.
Right, so you got Shotzi, you got Scarlett, and I remember in Impact she could go, but since she's appeared in WWE, as far as I know, she hasn't really wrestled. Not really, not in a actual.
she only
serious
wrestled
match.
in one match.
Right, just one match. And then you got Tamina, who still has a job for some reason. So Triple H has done an absolute piss poor job with the women's division.
Really
It's the
has.
weakest it's ever been. So, Cody losing aside and Judgment Day this, as much positivity as we can give Sammy and Roman and Gunther, he's just gone to sleep with the women's division. And I just want to see people hold Triple H accountable because he's just gone to fucking sleep. That's why they're doing Asuka Bianca again. Because anyone's asking, because Asuka, she did the little miss thing on Bianca, right? So some Asuka fans are excited and they're thinking like, oh, this is going to be a renewed push. No, it's not. Asuka's facing Bianca because they got nobody else. I just read the entire roster. Charlotte's taking another break. She's already beaten Bailey. B-Fab isn't ready. She just beat Io Sky. The two NXT chicks
Oh,
just
B-Fab
showed up.
sucks.
Yeah, B-Fab sucks.
She's not
Tamina
ready.
sucks.
She's never gonna be ready.
Right. So you
Yo,
got
hold
Rhea
on
Ripley.
real quick. Hold on. I know you cooking. I know you cooking. Give me 1 second. Scott, you still there? You. Yeah. But keep cooking. Go ahead.
Yeah, so anyway, so they've done a great job building up Rhea Ripley, and they've done a great job building up Bianca Belair. So great, they got their, I'm going to use the Brett Shawn analogy, okay? They found their next two superstars to focus the future of their division. That's great. The problem is that they haven't built up anybody else. And because you've built up Bianca so dominantly and you've built up Rhea so well, you need to have believable challengers. And since they don't have any believable challengers, all you're going to get are just these throwaway matches until they find somebody. So, but yeah.
So can I ask you a quick question, though?
Say. Mm-hmm.
Let's say, right, that they build somebody up. Like Zoe Stark, for instance, on Raw. They're trying to build her up. Believe it or not. So,
which is fine, honestly. I like Zoe Starks. She's good. She could be
build
somebody.
Her up, like, don't you think that notion would disappear, or would it still be there?
I mean, if they build her up and the fans get behind her, then sure,
Yeah, and I was saying that too. Remember, I was saying that same thing from before. I was saying that Zoe Stark should be the next big baby face with her muscle bound face having ass, but still, she should be that next big face when it comes to the women's division, because they do need that next baby face to take Bianca Belair's spot eventually. And not only that, they need to build some tag teams.
The only prospect right now.
Not only that, hold on. And they do need a mid-card belt, because there's a lot of females on there from what you had just said when it comes to Raw and SmackDown. That's not even counting NXT. They need a mid-card belt. Shit, fuck it. Bring back the Divas belt. I'll bring back the Divas belt.
It's not that they need a mid-card belt. What they need is, the problem is, there's the only story that's going on in the women's division is whatever challenger is feuding with the champion.
Right.
You can have individual feuds in the women's division that don't have anything to do with the title. You have a lot of singles feuds in the men's division that have nothing to do with the belt. But for whatever reason, in the women's division, they don't often have feuds outside the belt. And so whenever you don't have when you watch Raw or SmackDown, 9 times out of 10, anytime there's a women's match that doesn't have anything to do for championship, the crowd doesn't give a shit. And it's like, why should the crowd care? Because you're not featuring them in storylines or anything. And the few stories that they do have are dropped or people don't care. Like the whole Nikki Cross stalking Candice. There was no explanation for that, and the fans don't give a shit about it.
They turned him into friends.
Right. Or when Naomi was still in WWE, when Sonya Deville hated Naomi and they never explained why. That shit made no fucking sense. That was also dumb. You know, just looking at the women's division right now, the only prospect I really see, and when I say prospect, I'm talking about like our fans reacting to her, I would say is Chelsea Green. The few times I see her on TV, the whole Karen thing she does, it gets good heat. The fans boo her. You can call it a dumb gimmick, but when she's in there, I do see fans reacting. They are bullying her.
No, I like
They react to Zoe as well, though.
Yeah,
I figured that they was gonna form a tag team with Chelsea Green and what's her name again?
What, Sonya?
Carmella. Yeah,
Carmella. Yeah. I also think that EO is catching on as a babyface, so I think the fans like EO. So I think
like
they'll
that.
be all right.
Which is a good thing. Which is a great thing. Io Sky is fantastic.
Of course, they're gonna like Io Sky. It's that Asian fascination that guys have.
Bullshit. You already know how they WWE books Japanese Asians.
Yeah, I'm talking about. But
those splits are sexy as fuck, though.
Look at Oscar. Oscar is the biggest bum of WrestleMania. She can't buy a win at WrestleMania.
And Sandman knows me, man. I used to fuck heavy with TNA Wrestling, Impact Wrestling. So
right.
I know how good Mia Yim is. Mia is great. She's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world, and so far she's just with the club, and she's not doing anything. I was like, they're not explaining a story. Like, who is she?
Nothing has connected with her yet.
Right.
She was wasn't she supposed to be in a feud with Rhea Ripley? When they brought her back, she was supposed to feud with Rhea,
and that would be good.
Raw, so that's fucked up now. So let's move on.
Yeah, that's the thing that kills me. The champion should be exempt when it comes to the trade. I mean, when it comes to the draft, whatever trade, draft, whatever. Champions should be exempt. It makes no sense because I remember I was talking to you. Go ahead.
Don't expect Bianca to have that title by after Saturday. Is the pay-per-view this Saturday? Yes,
no, it's next Saturday.
Next Saturday, yeah.
Asuka will win. Don't expect Bianca with the title for long.
You think so?
Bro, have you been paying attention? They don't have anybody else. That's why she's not losing. They have to find.
I don't think he's been watching because what he's been saying earlier, what Scott's been saying earlier, you haven't been watching.
No, I have been watching, but honestly, I think it's time for Bianca to finally get her break.
I am telling you, they may not have Bianca lose until Charlotte come back.
And they're not doing that until Mania next year. They're not doing that. I already know. If you've been watching WWE, you already know how it is. The Mania match next year would be Charlotte versus Bianca and Becky versus Rhea. They
might do the same thing they did with Bianca and Becky. Yeah. They had Becky come back, beat Bianca, and then Bianca got her lick back at Mania. They might do that shit with Charlotte.
We already talked about this before. Bianca's not losing, period. And you know why she's not losing. It's got nothing to do with her. She's great. She's not losing because they don't want to change the narrative because of what happened with Sasha and Naomi. That's why. What they did basically assured her spot because the narrative is WWE doesn't care about black people. That's the real reason.
Nobody gives a fuck about Sasha Banks right now. I don't even know why that's even a conversation.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, that's what you and the other Sasha Banks haters say. Sasha Banks is out there, B. She killing it right now.
Naomi basically exposed them.
Wait till she touches down.
Yeah, in Japan, she's crushing it.
Yeah, wait till she touches down at AEW. She's gonna light shit up.
Naomi exposed them, bro. She exposed them. Did y'all hear that interview she did the other week?
Yeah, I did. And she not only exposed the company, she exposed a lot. She exposed how stupid fans are as well. Like, come on now. They really thought that they blamed Sasha Banks for Naomi leaving. Like, what?
Shit like that is why they left. And look at the division now. They ain't coming. That's why I laugh at people say, "Oh, they're gonna come back." No, the fuck they're not. Come back to what?
Honestly, honestly, Naomi was never labeled that girl. Honestly, they gave her her great. They gave her her little moment, winning the match, having a WrestleMania moment in her hometown in Orlando. But she
Naomi's
just,
saving grace is that she's a part of the family.
that's
That's
it.
all
Family
well
that
and
really
good, man.
runs shit.
That's all
That's
cool, but I'm talking about the bigger issue here. The bigger
Wait,
issue.
hold on. Let Scott finish. Scott didn't even get to finish. Let Scott finish. Go ahead,
Let me
Scott.
guess. The bigger issue because the black wrestlers get shitted on. We need to stop
No, the
that
bigger
bullshit.
issue was that she went to Vince and complained. Her and Sasha went to Vince and complained, and there were certain things that they were told to say, and there were also stories of Bianca Belair, similar stories, and Vince agreed. So Vince wasn't the problem. The problem was the writing team. They didn't like that they didn't like that they were causing waves because basically it made them have to redo their job. And so they were given this label of difficult to work with, which was untrue. It would be like if you had a job, right? And you're cool with your boss, but other people that are on the higher totem pole are telling you to say a certain thing that you may find offensive. And then you go to the boss and the boss says, "Oh, I agree with you." And then you end up getting heat for it. So what I'm basically saying is that
Man, check this out.
the problem is there's a group of, I'm trying to be nice about it, but I can't be nice. The
Man,
writers are a bunch of all
come
white
on,
folks.
really?
All white folks.
Dude, check
So
this out. Dude, check this out. If Sasha Banks, no, let me refer that. If Kofi Kingston had to deal with that shit for over 10
He does.
years to finally
Hold
get
on.
his push, I don't want to hear shit about Sasha Banks.
Yo,
Until-
you sound so ridiculous.
No.
So just
until
because,
she-
wait, hold
until
on.
she-
So wait. No, I'll let you go. So, because Kofi wanted to go through all that, she has to go through it too. Why?
I didn't say Kofi wanted to go through all that. I'm just making a
No.
comparison.
You heard what I said. I said, so just because he did go through it, that means Sasha Banks have to go through it too?
everybody handles shit differently.
Hold
bro.
on. Let him finish. Go ahead, Scott. Because I want to know. I want to ask every Sasha Banks hater, what's the main gripe? So, what say you, Scott?
What's it with me? Honestly,
Yeah, are you? Because I always see you bashing Sasha Banks. You're one of them. I just want to know what is the root of the problem. Like,
I don't see the fucking hype with. I don't see the hype with this girl.
okay,
She comes off snobbish. She is a snob. All that crime. No. I'm sorry.
go ahead. Say speak your shit.
After what Bianca Belair has showed me how she conducts herself inside and outside that ring, there's a reason why she gets the push that she deserves.
Well, Bianca doesn't have weirdos going after her like Sasha did, though.
Oh, trust me, I guarantee Bianca has some weirdos. It's just not. It doesn't need to always be publicized on fucking social media.
It's not
fucking
obvious.
Put your Twitter fingers down. I mean, damn. Ric Flair probably was getting harassed and sexually raped when he walked through the damn airport, but he's not bitching about it. To me, Sasha Banks never really cared so much of the business until she started getting into the business. You can tell people who are genuine. No. Check this out. Bianca Belair's path to the wrestling world was a whole lot different compared to how Sasha Banks was put into the world. The only reason why Sasha Banks really got the publicity that they got was, come on, celebrities talk to celebrities.
God.
If it wasn't,
you mean to say Sasha Banks is not a student of the game?
No, she became a student of the game. I'm not doubting her as
Come
a
on.
wrestler.
Just like what Marcus Brown said, oh, she botches a lot. Do y'all really watch Sasha Banks? Like, I've seen Sasha Banks ever since NXT, her upbringings. I'm just starting to gather that y'all motherfuckers just be hating on Sasha Banks just cause. It's really no legitimate reason.
No, she does botch. Like and
everybody
botches,
everybody botches. Everybody, but to the point where you say, "Oh, she's a botch master." No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying like, like I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out what is the deal with the, especially when it comes to black men. I'm not gonna lie, I'm going there. You will hate on this black woman for realizing her worth. She don't have to be the greatest wrestler of all time. It's objective, whatever.
I don't see race.
But hold on,
when I see wrestling.
Hold on, Scott. But she was promised a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And she never got it. And she was like, you know what? I know I could go somewhere else and I'll know my worth. And they will know my worth too. And I'll get paid more money and I'll get more recognition. Why would you also get?
But you also give yourself a bad reputation. It gets you to the point, unless you're one of those desperate people like Tony Khan, who's trying his hardest to defeat the evil empire that is never going to happen.
So you're calling her a company killer? Is that what you get? That's what you're saying?
Sasha Banks is a company killer. And I'll tell you why.
You know what?
Yo, whatever you're
smoking, I'm done, man. Yo, y'all go ahead, B.
No,
go ahead. I'm taking a break.
I have never heard that before.
I am smoking.
That's what I'm talking about. What is going on with the Sasha hate, the reaching? Why y'all so mad?
Check this out. I've been.
Now I don't agree with you, but
I've been smoking on the Sasha Banks pack for a long time. She was a danger to herself in the ring, and I'm gonna give you one example. When you take bumps, you're supposed to be safe with the wrestler, and you're supposed to make sure you're safe with yourself. One of the worst matches Sasha Banks
Charlotte's worse than Sasha.
No. I was about to go to one of the worst matches she was ever in was Hell in a Cell, and people said it. They had no business in that ring. Why
Which Hell in a Cell?
The very first women's Hell in a Cell. Why the fuck are you in?
Talk about the one with Bailey?
No, the one with Charlotte.
With Charlotte,
you shouldn't be mad at Sasha. That's Vince, bro. He's the one that fucking signed off on the match.
And to be honest, the only reason they were in the first Hell in a Cell is because Charlotte Flair was in it. He didn't give a damn about nobody but Charlotte.
Check this out. How much does Sasha Banks weigh?
Why are you giving her shit? All the girls are small. Alexa Bliss is much smaller than her.
But you don't see no other woman that was willing to say, throw me through a table. It's going to collapse and it's going to look good. She went through the table and the table didn't even budge. And Charlotte's not no weak individual. She used all the force she could possibly use. It didn't look good, and it made the match look
I don't
terrible.
disagree with what you're saying. I think that what you're saying is a different issue, which I've talked about before, which is the concept of anything the men can do, the woman can do. That's not true. There are some things that men can do that women can't, and vice versa. And I do think that WWE as a company needs to come to that realization, but they're not going to do it because of the world that we live in today, which is not really.
Because everybody's afraid to hurt people. Everybody's afraid to
hurt
hurt people's feelings, and everybody got to have a goddamn participation award. I'm sorry.
Right. And that's not a WWE problem.
Well, the problem is not the wrestlers or the company. The problem is the narrative. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Like, to me, Charlotte is 10 times worse than Sasha.
See how all this shit started with the Saudi stuff, bro. Like, all this shit started with the Saudi stuff because the women weren't allowed to go over there. It was a bad look because Steph McMahon, as a businesswoman and as a mouthpiece for the women of WWE, it didn't look good for her to say that, oh, our girls do this, our girls do that, because they got rid of the Divas title, they reintroduced the women's wrestling.
But fuck you because of Saudi.
Right. So it looked bad. So then what they did was they did the whole evolution thing, and it was a make-do to make it look as if like they gave a shit about the girls. They didn't, because they haven't done it since. when Mickey James got fired, one of the first things she talked about was that she tried to keep pitching in Evolution
Bro,
2.
don't even get me started with Mickey James,
Well,
bro. The
here's the
disrespect that
thing.
she gets is ridiculous.
You cannot say that they tried and they did not help the girls out. You do realize, let's say, XFL. They had one when the XFL first started. It was so bad. You didn't hear them say, "Hey, let's give it another season." No, the women's pay-per-view was just not it. It wasn't well received. It didn't get good ratings unless you're one of those people that really sat there and watched every match. There's nothing memorable about about that women's pay-per-view that says we need another one.
Because
Well,
then again, it goes back to what I said. The problem is the narrative, not the wrestler. Because the only reason they had that women's pay-per-view is because of Ronda Rousey.
Right.
Marcus, people think Sasha Banks is innocent. Innocent about what? Like, I'm not understanding. I understand if you will be like, you know what? I'm just not a fan of Sasha Banks. You know, I don't like her wrestling or whatever.
No,
not one person has said that yet.
Here's the thing. And
it's like people are just hating this to hate. Oh, she's a spoiled brat.
Her mouth her mouth makes
hold on. What did this dude say? You in this business to either make friends or make money. And I already got enough friends.
Yeah, Scott Hall said that. Yeah.
The fuck? You want to just and then like what this dude Toph said earlier. Yo, their number creeps be around. Number creeps be around Sasha Banks. As a matter of fact, you bashed her for saying, when she put up that post saying that, you know what, fans, I appreciate you, but please don't be in front of my house.
Every era has that girl. You know, every era
you know what I'm saying?
has
Like
that one girl that the fans are obsessed with. You know, when I was younger,
It's
just ridiculous. I just think it's ridiculous. And you know me,
check this out.
I like to hear everybody's point of view. I really do. You know what I'm saying? I really like but it's like, come on.
Mandy Rose is way hotter than Sasha Banks. And
she doesn't have fans, bro.
No.
She doesn't have fans obsessed with her, bro.
No, you would be fucking surprised. I'm
not saying she doesn't. I'm simply saying that Mandy is physically more attractive. What I'm saying is that you don't have fucking weirdos approaching her in the middle of nowhere asking for autographs like Sasha was. Every single generation has that one woman that for whatever reason fans are obsessed. When I was a kid, it was Sable. When I was a teenager, it was Maria. And then right before I became like, where I'm at now, I remember there was a period when all the fans were obsessed with AJ Lee, even though I thought AJ Lee was pretty average.
And day before then, it was Sunny.
Right.
Like, when I was a kid, it was Sunny.
The only difference between Sasha
as soon as they land in the airport, you see motherfuckers coming in the airport, fans coming through, yada, yada, yada. It's cool. Yes, it's awesome. But it's like sometimes, most of the time, they're tired. They just want to just go home. Yeah. To their hotel room and just get some rest. How does this thing? How would it look like? Hold on, like how would it look like if they, you know what I mean? They came and go to the fucking house because you got a mob of psychotic fans that like to tie up their fucking, you know what I mean? So something crazy shit.
So I'm about to answer exactly what you're talking about. Remember last week? I think one of you guys said this. Wrestling is not as glamorous as we look it to be.
Yeah, right. I said that. Right.
Yeah,
guess what?
Yeah, tough.
That's the ugly. That is just the ugly side of being a celebrity and a professional wrestler. Your privacy is going to be taken away. You're not going to have no peace. And honestly, there's wrestlers that handle it better, and then there's some that are just fucking assholes. Like Daniel Bryan.
But quick question.
Hold on. I got you, and I'm gonna let y'all continue on. Like what you just said right there. Don't you think Sasha Banks handled it correctly by posting that tweet saying that, I appreciate the fans or whatever, but please don't be waiting for me in front of my house. Like, let me, take care of what I gotta take care of, and we set up a meet and greet.
No, because she knew. You know why? She fucked that up. She fucked that over because one, she didn't go. I'm gonna tell you why. This is what happens when you're a westernized girl going over to the East. Things are operated a whole lot different over in Japan.
She wasn't in Japan when she did that tweet, sir.
I think she was.
No, she wasn't.
Yes, she was in New Japan.
No, she was not.
I'm gonna keep it honest with you, bro.
She was in New Japan.
The only difference between Sasha and every other girl that fans have been obsessed with is that she's black. That's it. And when a black woman tells you something and she knows better, people want to feel some kind of way. But when a white woman does it or a Latina woman does it,
thank you.
That's it.
I don't have one person saying nothing about Tony Storm. Tony Storm basically did the same thing. Let's really be real.
Black fit. I'm tired of us always making it seem like we're
Tony Storm.
No, this isn't true.
Tony Storm. No, Sam is right. Tony did the same thing. Tony walked out too, and there was
nobody said one thing about Tony Storm. Right. You didn't have Michael Cole bash her during a live broadcast. Nothing.
She just left, and nobody cared.
Nobody cared.
You know
what? Y'all continue on me.
Let me tell you what. Tony Storm wasn't even important.
It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter.
Tony Storm walked out. Tony Storm walked out in the middle of a live show.
It doesn't matter.
Sorry.
Bro. It doesn't matter, bro. It's not about talent, bro.
Sasha Banks was crowned. Let me tell you something. Sasha Banks was crowned the 4 horsewomen. Her level.
The talent doesn't matter, bro. It's no different than a black dude being arrested in a nice neighborhood.
It ain't about the talent. It's not about the talent. It's about your status. Sasha Banks was anointed the same way Randy Orton was. And guess what?
She was never anointed. She never got a run. No, she wasn't. She was always treated as a jobber in WWE. She never had a run like Charlotte did or Becky did.
When it comes to the popularity, she's anointed.
There's popularity and then there's booking position. She was never booked like she was one of the main eventers. Like she was made.
That's booking.
She never had that.
We're not talking about booking. We're talking about.
You just said she was anointed. That is booking.
No, we're not talking about booking. We're talking about her conduct.
What?
I could care. We're talking about her conduct.
You're changing the narrative, bro. What's this? What are you, EC3?
No, we're not changing the narrative. The thing is, everybody's gripe about.
Where are you going with this?
Everybody's gripe about Sasha Banks. She does more bitching than she do actually being. If she didn't bitch so much, she would be loved by everybody.
Okay, here's my gripe. I'm just gonna break it down simply. Okay, I'm taking my complete bias out of this because I can be very non-biased when it comes to the women's wrestling because I don't particularly like WWE anyway. Charlotte, Bayley, Becky, Sasha, 4 horsewomen. I saw that match between Sasha and Bayley on NXT TakeOver in Brooklyn, the match that everybody still talks about to this day. Was that the best women's match I've ever seen? No. Was that the best women's match I've ever seen in WWE? Yes. Of the 4 horsewomen of Bayley, Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky, even as far as back then, it was very clear to me as a neutral fan who didn't have a preference for either one of them. It was very obvious to me that Sasha was the best of the 4. Charlotte was the one that they made up their mind on, just like they made up their mind about Randy Orton and John Cena and Hulk Hogan. They looked at her because she's white, because she's tall, and because she's blonde. They looked at her and they said, this is going to be the person who's going to be the face of the women's division. They've given Charlotte numerous pushes.
Even though Charlotte never made a star.
Right. They've given Charlotte numerous pushes, and at this point, we can definitely say she hasn't made anybody. She's not a draw. She's not a merch seller. She has no crossover appeal whatsoever. In fact, you can statistically look at her pushes, and a lot of time when she gets a push, the interest actually goes down. Then you have Becky. I don't hate Becky, but at the same time, I don't like her. I thought that Becky as a performer was average. Then the whole demand thing.
Like I always thought Becky was the best one out of the 4.
Well, I thought she was middle of the road. But then in 2018, the whole thing happened with Charlotte, and then Nia Jax punched her in the nose, and she was bleeding, and then she was the man. And for a cup of tea there, she was the hottest thing in wrestling. But she's cooled off. It has to be
she cooled off because she started hanging out with her fucking goofball of a husband.
Well, that's another story entirely.
Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the likes.
That's another story entirely. So we've gone over Charlotte, we've gone over Becky. Then there's Bayley. I was of the minority in Bayley. when I saw Bailey, I thought she was corny. The whole hug thing. And to be totally honest, I know we're not supposed to say this word anymore because it's like banned. Just the way the character came off, to me, she came off like she was retarded, like Eugene, like it was some kind of inside joke or whatever. I didn't like her. Then
Who
she
said we
turned
can't
heel.
use the word retarded?
You can't use it now. You get in trouble for that. You got to say special needs. If you say retarded in school, you can get like suspended now. Dead serious. It's dumb. Whatever.
Man.
For real?
So I never liked Bailey as a
Yeah.
face. Then they turned Bailey heel, and then when they turned her heel during the pandemic era, I was like, oh yeah, she's much better.
That saved her. That heel turn saved her career, bro.
Right,
Does
but then
that
for
hug
some
get-
reason,
does that-
for some reason, her
so-
heel run worked good without fans. But then when fans came back, it's just not the same at all. It's just not working. Then there's
I'ma
Sasha, and it was
I'ma
like
be honest
everything
with you.
Sasha did, whether she was a face or a heel, like she was entertaining. She had good matches. She had good promos, and as I said before, she was the only person that brought out a good match out of Nia Jax. For that alone, for that, you know how much we hate Nia Jax. For that alone, the fact that she was the only one to get a good match out of Nia Jax, for that alone,
And
just
Ronda
fucking
Rousey.
give her the
You know
world,
what?
bro.
You know why?
And-
you know
and
why?
Ronda
You know why?
Rousey.
You know, I have a newfound respect for Trish Stratus because of her promo that she put.
So Trish
and-
has always been a good talker, though. She always been
Yeah,
a
nah.
good
Nah, but what she said was straight facts. Sasha Banks and Bailey, they had a great match, but it wasn't transcendent. It was not transcending like when Lita.
Yo, you're
That's
No,
not
no, no,
true,
no.
bro.
you are
That's
really
not true,
tempting
bro.
No.
me.
No.
Yeah, you're tempting me.
I want you to go back and look at how the fans reacted when Trish Stratus dropped the title to Lita. I think it was Lita.
Bro,
Them fans.
Talking about that
them
Monday night?
fans. Yes.
bro, the match
That
that Trish
was-
and Bailey had at Takeover, that was the
That started the whole fucking revolution.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
That started the current women's division you have today. Without that,
Oh
match, you
my
wouldn't have
God!
it.
Like, you troll. You gotta
No.
be trolling.
I'm not trolling because I like to respect what the people
No, bro.
before
No,
have
bro. I'm
done.
gonna stop you
And-
there. Bailey
Like,
versus
you
Bailey,
bugging
Bailey
the fuck
versus
out,
Sasha.
yo.
Okay, Bailey versus Sasha. Okay.
Even
WWE.
WWE says that themselves. They
Yeah.
even say it.
If you don't see it that way, that's fine. But I'm just telling you, like that's the real. Okay,
It's a
Bailey
fact.
versus Sasha. Bailey versus Sasha at that takeover to WWE is what Awesome Kong Gail Kim was to that Knockouts division. Without Awesome Kong versus Gail Kim, the Knockouts division in Impact TNA Wrestling does not exist.
Let me tell you something. If
Without Bailey versus Sasha Banks, there is no real.
You sound like it's yo.
no.
It's
So we're not
Snuggles
gonna go there.
ghostwriting for you.
With-
It's not like Snuggles ghostwriting for you right now.
Without that Lita and Trish Stratus match, we wouldn't have Sasha Banks and Bailey.
Not really, because that was a different time. They weren't women's wrestlers then; they were divas. Remember?
And,
No,
and furthermore, back then,
They
bro,
were-
nobody
they were
cared.
deep-
Nobody was
no.
giving women the time of day, bro.
No, they were divas, but I'd be goddamn if I don't consider Lita a fucking wrestler.
I don't. I like her though.
Yeah, me too. Lita's cool.
Lita's-
Mickey James
Lita's a-
kind of just like
Lita is a-
ruins your whole argument there.
Lita is a
Yeah.
wrestler.
Not
Lita-
really.
Lita was.
Well, I guess you can say,
No,
because if
she
you,
couldn't.
all right, hey,
I
look, if they consider
might
Jeff
be able to
Hardy a
give you that.
wrestler, if they consider Jeff Hardy
Okay,
a
I'll give
wrestler,
you
then
that.
she's a wrestler
I'll give you-
too.
No,
Okay,
I'm
I'll
gonna
give you that.
I'm gonna tell you why Lita's a wrestler. Lita was willing to get in there and take ass whoopings from a man. You remember what Austin and Triple H
Nah,
did?
you
to her?
right.
And
Nah,
they
you
did
right.
not go.
Yeah.
And they did not
Nah,
go
you
easy
right
on
about
her.
that. Lita got the crap kicked out of her by Austin.
Well, it's
Triple
not
H
that the
back
girls
then.
today.
Those
it's not
chair
like the
shots,
girls
good
today
lord.
don't-
Bro,
like the
you
girls
tell
today
me-
don't
Those
want
chair
to do
shots
that. They would,
echoed.
They just can't.
You tell me
know?
that Sasha Banks would be willing to take a chair shot.
Actually, she would.
Like,
She wanted to have
no,
the
she-
Intercontinental Champion. She wanted to, but they can't because they're a billion-dollar company now. They're publicly traded, so they can't do interracial. Or I say interracial. They can't do. They can't do. Call it intergender. Intergender.
Intergender.
They can't. They can't do intergender. They can't. You know.
No, they can do intergender. It's just that the dudes can't lay hands on the chicks. The last one that did that was Baron Corbin, actually.
Yeah,
I think Baron Corbin was the last one to do it when he caught Becky Lynch at the end of days.
I think the edict is officially that they can do a maneuver. A guy can do a maneuver on a girl, but he cannot strike a girl. Like Randy Orton can hit Nia Jax with the RKO.
Right.
That's a move. But you can't punch or kick a girl like what Austin did to Lita. I think that's the edict officially. I think.
No, it ain't. You got
chair shot.
You got to remember, it ain't. It wasn't just a chair shot from Austin. I think she also took a spine buster from Triple H.
Yeah, she probably did. They didn't give a fuck back then. I'm pretty sure she took it.
Yeah, they used to love beating on women.
They were putting women through tables and shit.
No. Let me tell you about the table thing. Bubba didn't want to do it, and Mae Young told Bubba, "Don't be a pussy." And
yo, I love Mae Young, yo. Oh man, Mae is the toughest nails.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I love watching stuff like Dark Side of the Ring.
No,
Canyon said she went to Mae Young's that's how he got into the wrestling business. He got a tryout by going to the wrestling thing with Mae Young.
Wrestling school?
Yeah. And Canyon said Mae Young beat the shit out of him. I don't think none of them girls today would have been able to handle Mae Young in a training facility.
Don't get it fucked up now. There's a lot of tough bitches out there.
There's a lot of girls there.
Yeah, it's different nowadays.
Like fucking Jamie Hayter, she got her start in New Japan Dojo. They do more intense training than anybody in the world.
New Japan Dojo puts you through the ringer. They'll put you through the ringer.
Oh, hold on, my knee just cracked. Ooh, Lord Jesus.
That was your knee? I thought you was blowing your nose.
No, that's my knee. That was a good crackle right there.
I know she doesn't. I know she doesn't really do anything on TV, but I know apparently she's a.
You good, right? Wait, hold on, sure, you all right?
Yeah.
That just sound like you stepped on a stack of crackers.
All you gotta do is pop it back in place. Shoot, this good old army injuries.
All right.
Thanks for your service.
Shoot, you don't know. I will if I'm hanging out with
it won't be me. Fuck that
shit. I would literally dislocate my shoulder and I'd be like, hold on, give me a second, and pop it right back in. Like, all right, what's next? I know it sounds nasty. Ooh, that felt good, but it hurt at the same time. I hope my knee bucks again, man.
Bro, that just sound like you just leg drop dry leaves just now.
I got Kobe Bryant knees.
Word, I'm like, what the fuck? I thought somebody was blowing their nose. Shit,
you know what? We're gonna argue to the cows. You know what? I guess that's gonna be a subject that we can easily agree that we'll never agree on.
No, that's cool. Like when it comes to Sasha Banks, when it comes to the whole Sasha Banks shit, like we don't have to, it's just I just want a valid excuse, not excuse, but a reason. Like why people be hating on Sasha Banks so much? I just don't get it. Like her being the best wrestler in the world. My bad. So give me 1 second. I got you. Like her being the best in the whole world. I'm not saying that, but when it comes to business, yes, she's one of the best. And, she got the big bag, and she's still healthy, and she's going around the world putting on good matches. And then not only that, everybody's still anticipating her coming to AEW to go against Jade Cargill.
But
it's far more simple to me, bro.
When she gets on social media and says she's gonna be bigger than The Rock, girl, you don't talk like The Rock.
It's far more simple to me, bro.
You don't put ass in seats like The Rock.
It just comes down to the fact that they're black. If the Iconics back when they were a thing, if they had walked out, you wouldn't have heard Michael Cole saying that they were unprofessional. If it had been anybody else, it wouldn't have happened. But because
that shit was corny as hell when they did that shit. I remember Brock walked out. Was it the following weekend? And they ain't say shit.
Nah, they brought
say nothing.
No, they said.
And then what was funny?
Out, but
and then what was funny was they wrote down
in.
to say that they were unprofessional, and then a week and a half later, Vince gets accused of being a rapist. Oh, funny how life works. So
when it rains, it pours.
Yep.
They really brought that man back.
When you're a billionaire, you're always gonna have at least one sexual scandal.
It's his company. They could try to exile him as much as they want. They can't get rid of him. It's his company.
All right. That's all. That's all it really comes down to me, man. This isn't a talent or lack thereof. It's just a lot of people subconsciously. I ain't trying to make any accusations or anything. I just think that a lot of people subconsciously they don't like it when a black woman knows their worth, literally and figuratively.
Yeah,
if a white person, if a white woman or a Latina woman or any other race, if they know their worth, it's cool. You know, if a black person shows what I'm worth more. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, you uppity, oh, you an attitude, or that's just how I view it.
And then let's not forget to mention she was promised so much. She put in so much fucking work for that damn company. Remember, she was a proprietor or one of the proprietors of Female Revolution, Evolution, whatever. She never had a legitimate title reign. She won the belt twice, and the first time she held it for a month. The second time she only held it for a week.
Only 2 defenses.
She never defended it once.
She her only title defense for her first couple reigns were against Charlotte. That was it.
Yeah, every title defense match she had, she lost it. She never defended it once. When it was a title defense match, she would lose.
The only real run she had was during COVID when there were no fans. You know?
Yeah, that was it.
But Bailey was a champion.
Yeah, but then strike that. When she beat Bailey for the women's title, that was her last good legit run as well as a singles competitor. Her match with Bianca at WrestleMania was a banger.
Hell yeah. Come on,
and don't forget too, and don't forget, and people always put the focus on Sasha because I mentioned it before. Everything about that early 2022 period didn't make sense because Sasha, the Royal Rumble was a Saturday. That was the first time they experimented with the show. Sasha came back the Friday, the day before, and they just had her one of the first people eliminated, and then they had Ronda win. We were live. That was the show. Sandman fell asleep, and when Ronda came out, she came out. Ronda just looked like she wanted to be anywhere else but there, and it was just bro, at least pretend to look happy, at least pretend to give a shit, and her run was what it was. And
I just want to say
that was the day when she stopped giving a fuck.
And I just want to say one thing about that. To all the fans that came at me when I said Ronda Rousey winning the Royal Rumble was a terrible decision, y'all could go to hell because look at this shit now.
Straight to hell.
Yep. And it wasn't just her
knew
too.
That was horrible.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
it
we
wasn't
called that though. We called that.
I mentioned it earlier. It wasn't just her too. They fucked over Naomi too because she was fine. I think she had got hurt or something, and she was cleared. And then they started doing the story with her and Sonya. And just like this Brock Cody thing, Sonya hated Naomi, and they never gave a storyline explanation for why. And it went on for months, 3.5 months. It went on. It wasn't like some mini feud. It went on for 3.5 months, and it went on so long that it started to enter WrestleMania season. So it's oh, all right, well, maybe they'll have a match at WrestleMania. That'd be cool. That'd be a nice moment for her. They did the fucking blow off on a random episode of SmackDown, in February, and that was it. They just moved on like it never happened. They never gave any explanation or whatever. It was so I'm pretty sure they both Sasha and Naomi were both promised, hey, we're going to give you both. We're going to give you guys a really cool WrestleMania match. And they just, you know how it is. Plans change. And so I'm pretty sure that was the final straw to both of them. And I think a lot of people just forgot that or they don't talk about it enough. But anyway, it's whatever. We can all at least agree on one thing, though. The Ronda Rousey shit is a flop. It's a failure. We can all agree on that, though, right?
A massive flop.
And
Yeah.
I never seen the appeal of it when motherfuckers
Man,
were saying that, oh, that was a great match they had at WrestleMania, that tag team match. That match was fucking trash. Well, instead of, of course, just Triple H and Kurt Angle, they're gonna do their damn thing, but I never see the appeal in Ronda Rousey, where everybody was saying that, oh yeah, Ronda Rousey did a thing. She didn't. She was sloppy as hell. I never understood that shit.
The only appeal of Ronda Rousey was the fact that she was a badass in the UFC. I'm not even gonna lie. She looked good in Fast and the Furious, and people kind of just looked at her like a sexual fantasy. That was about it.
Yeah, and then she was something new. You know what I mean? Given the fact that she was on from the UFC, like you said, and she was in a high profile match. But I never seen the appeal. Sasha Banks made her look good though.
Here's the problem with Ronda. This is in general. This isn't a wrestling thing.
But hold on. I haven't before you
you don't shit on the fans either.
I've been reading the comments, like motherfuckers throwing comments. So let me read a couple of comments before we continue on, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
That was another.
Blaze said, "Black people leave their job because they're not happy. It's an issue, right?" This for us too, Toph. It's not about being black. In my opinion. It's just the cockiness and bad bitchy attitude. I can't deal with it. If she had a good attitude and saying crazy stuff, what crazy stuff she said?
She does come off very cocky, R. Very cocky.
She's a fucking wrestler. What is she supposed to? What wrestler you doing that's not cocky?
Daniel Bryan.
That's a lie. Daniel Bryan is definitely cocky.
No.
Yo.
Daniel Bryan. Do you
know? My God.
Do you know Daniel Bryan can go to an airport and no matter how many times or how tired he is or how whatever that he does not want to be bothered, he makes time for a fan to come up to you and take a picture. Oh, you gotta think about it like this. It's just like it's like Michael Jordan.
Hold on, but Sasha Banks don't be dubbing all her fans. You act like she be dubbing all her fans.
She be dubbing her
when
fans.
It comes,
when she takes pictures.
Let's really be real. Daniel Bryan is a fucking guy. What are we talking about here?
Yep.
Well, I'm sorry. If you don't like the fans, if you that annoyed with the fans, get fucking security. What you want me to say, man?
All I was gonna say on Ronda Rousey is, and we all know a person like this in our own life, I'm sure. The thing about Ronda, it's not just the wrestling thing. She's like this in general, right? You know that person where it's like when things are good, they're there, but then when things are bad, they just check out and they don't give a fuck. That's Ronda. She was like that in UFC. She's like that in her personal life. And she's like that in pro wrestling. When she first came in, when fans liked her, it was a big deal. She was motivated. She went out there and did the best she could. There was just a spark that was there. But then when the magic wore off and the luster wore off and fans just saw through the act, she just went autopilot. And we all know someone like that in our life. She's the kind of person.
Thank you, Marcus. I'm glad Marcus just posted this. I'm gonna read it out.
Actually,
Sasha Banks.
Now I was gonna talk about that. The most legitimate run that Sasha Banks had is what Toph mentioned earlier during the pandemic when the role models was together. Yeah, that was the best run she ever had. Every other run she had with any other belt, it was so fucking forgetful. You don't remember the other runs she had with those belts? Let's really be real.
Okay, but this nowadays titles are not even titles; they're props. But
because why? Because of poor booking. That's the point.
Well, I thought about this, and somebody put a good point. In today's type of wrestling style, you can't have long reigning champions like you used to.
Bullshit.
No,
And what do
no.
you call Roman
Bro,
Reigns?
Yo,
like literally half the
exactly.
Roman Reigns,
Them
champions.
bloodline
Half,
honestly,
shirts, the bloodline merchandise is still flying off shelves.
it's still flying off shelf. But at the same time, Roman Reigns was on a Roman Reigns shouldn't have to defend the title every pay-per-view. And that's what technically happened when he was doing his title run. So when he kept winning and winning and winning and winning, fans were getting more frustrated. They was conflicted. They was getting angry. And honestly, I don't think fans are mad that Roman Reigns is champion. Fans are just waiting to see who's gonna beat this guy. And that's what that is.
And
Sasha,
that's what brings prestige to the title.
yeah. Now, the Sasha Banks comment that he just wrote, how can they say Sasha Banks wasn't treated good? She's a
Because
Grand
she
Slam
wasn't,
champion,
she never
She
even had a
wasn't, bro.
lengthy reign. You just
but
said
she's
it
a grand,
yourself.
but she's a Grand Slam champion.
It don't
Don't mean shit.
matter. Like look at Dolph Ziggler. Look at Dolph Ziggler, for instance. Like, yeah, he's a Grand Slam champion too, I think. Do you remember any of
Yeah.
his reigns?
Well,
No.
we couldn't. No, we gotta put an asterisk for Dolph Ziggler. There's a reason why he never got a second chance at a title because a dipshit named Alberto Del Fucco had to kick him in the face and get him a concussion. I can't
Well,
blame. I
he's
can't
still
blame
that.
that
It
on
don't matter.
Dolph.
He's still a Grand Slam champ because did he win the big gold? No, yeah, he won the big gold. He won the
Yeah.
ECW belt, and did he win the No, he didn't win the WWE championship though.
He won the
Well,
NXT belt though.
the
Yeah, he
NXT
won
belt.
that. Remember, he beat Braun Breaker.
Yeah, the NXT belt was to shake things up a little bit at NXT because NXT
You got
was
the attitude
just a
era stuff.
disaster.
That's basically the word that we're looking for. You know, we talked about before. As much as people romanticize the attitude era, a lot of reigns in the attitude era were very short. But back then, that didn't matter because everybody was over. You know, but
Yeah, the
Sasha never
characters
got.
are more larger than life. You had Stone Cold, you had The Rock, you had Mankind, Undertaker, Kane, Triple H.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The list goes on and on and on.
But
These motherfuckers
check,
ain't on that type of time nowadays.
yeah, because you know why? Because today's wrestlers don't know how to be wrestlers.
I agree.
I agree.
So when they the reason why they used to give wrestlers free reign at cutting promos because they knew how to cut promos. Today's wrestlers don't know how to cut a promo. And here's another thing. Today's wrestlers, they hate to take fucking advice. How many times I heard about this whole thing with Adam Hangman Page? When someone tried to give him advice, I don't need no advice. Fuck you. That's how all these wrestlers today act like. It's like you can't tell these motherfuckers nothing. And that's why we got dumbasses like John Morant who's getting in trouble carrying a fucking pistol because no one can tell these people nothing.
I don't know how we just bounced to basketball out of nowhere, but I hear you.
I just want to use him as an example because he's a knucklehead. But but here's the thing. Back in the days, you know why the Attitude Era worked? Because when the OGs spoke to the wrestlers, they listened. You try to do that with today's wrestlers, they feel entitled, they act like their feelings is hurt, and they start resenting. So guess what? You can't pass the knowledge when you don't want to fucking listen.
I ain't gonna lie. You know what fucked everything up? When they seen this dude, the Brooklyn Brawler, getting lunch for everybody, and Sergeant Slaughter as head of security. He was like, man, fuck these old niggas, man. These motherfuckers don't know what the fuck they talking.
What Brooklyn Brawler do?
He was a motherfucking gopher. He used to get people lunch. Y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to go and get people lunch. He was a gopher. A lot of them OGs they treat like crazy. Look at Gerald Briscoe. He was a stooge. Gerald Briscoe was one of the top dogs around the territory days.
And I guarantee you this: if I was a professional wrestler, That's who I will be picking. Is
Like,
picking their
look,
brain night in and night out.
look at Sergeant Slaughter. This motherfucker was the face of G.I. fucking Joe, former world heavyweight champion. This motherfucker ended up being head of security.
Well, just like they said, the reason why wrestling is so bad because today's wrestlers allowed it to die.
No,
I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, y'all don't hear where I'm going with this.
No,
they
don't.
The youngers don't respect the youngers don't respect the OGs because how the OGs ended up.
Well, you ain't gonna be on the top forever.
Like that's why, you know what I'm saying, I may have threw shots at The Rock in the past here and there, and rightfully so. Telling motherfuckers to lick a Wolverine's nipple sound wild crazy. But he's the one. He's like one of the main ones that made it out the game, and you know what I mean. Made himself a fucking worldwide conglomerate. Look at all these motherfuckers. All these other motherfuckers. You got fucking gold bum over here throwing shots at R&B singers and shit like that. Like, my dude, you don't. Why are you worried about what the fuck she doing?
Well, here's the thing. I think The Rock is no longer. Nobody remembers him as The Rock no more. Everybody knows him as Dwayne Johnson.
Right.
The Rock is not iconic. He's iconic as an entertainer, as a wrestler, but he wasn't iconic until he became Dwayne Johnson.
Are you fucking bugging?
Honestly, Dwayne Johnson.
Well, yo, see, you was doing good from before. Now you
Art. People are really saying that people don't remember.
I will give you this. You this.
People don't remember The Rock as a wrestler.
Right. That's all I'm about to say. That's when it comes to the That's when it comes to the babies that was born like I would say 2005, whatever.
Yeah, what he's trying to say is there's a new generation of people that don't know him as
that's what I said. That's what I said.
Right.
Like the babies that was born like in 2005.
Right. But don't say that The Rock was never iconic.
But as far as The Rock,
that's what I'm saying. Like, are you bugging?
Yeah.
How you think he went to the next stratosphere?
No,
The Rock was buzzing like a motherfucker. Come on, you know that. You was around at that time. Yeah, The Rock was every fucking where.
Plus, nobody started saying SmackDown until The Rock.
Rock was everywhere, but as you think about it, The Rock really had a short career.
Sure, all of them did. Stone Cold and The Rock's run were very brief, but despite the fact that their runs were brief, they were at the absolute apex of professional wrestling during its most popular time. A time so popular, and this is the part that younger fans are never going to understand. It's so fucking unfortunate. When wrestling was at its peak, bro, in fucking 99, 2000, wrestling was so hot, man. Even when Nitro was fucking dying, it was getting better ratings in the NBA playoffs. It was getting better ratings in the fucking Super Bowl. That's how hot it was. That's just unheard of.
Let him know, Henny God. Exactly. Rock and Austin, what? Everybody, the whole world.
Wrestling was so hot back then, bro. Wrestling was so hot back then, you could go to like a random mall and just ask a random bypassing person you've never met before in your life, like, yo, what happened on Raw last night? And they could tell you.
Yeah.
That's how hot it was.
There's a big difference. They understood that it took more than doing flips and Canadian destroyers and shit like that. You have to be the total package. These wrestlers are not the total package. They don't know how to keep a wrestler's attention.
He's actually got a point with that. You got a lot of these cats today are not total packages. A lot of them can either wrestle but can't talk but can't wrestle, but they make up for it with their engaging characters. And a lot of people don't have engaging characters. Like they have one thing over the other, and some of them don't have any of it.
Why do you think Jericho's still why do you think Jericho's still relevant today? He knows his wrestling ability has slowed down, but if that dude ain't the most entertaining motherfucker when he turns on the TV, I don't know who else is.
Yeah, because he knows how to
figured it out, bro.
Jericho has a way to keep himself relevant.
I figured it out, Sandman. Don't take this the wrong way, Scott. You're like Scott. You're like the Vince Russo of our group. because you say
No, the
something
fuck
real
I'm
good,
not.
and you
Oh,
follow it up with
damn.
No, the
something
fuck
really
I'm
dumb.
not.
Oh my god.
Damn.
I will never
That's
be like Shit
inspired.
Shane. I will never
Oh,
be like
Jesus.
That's a
Shit Shane.
Because
shot.
you have the right idea, but like you just word it really bad. Like when you said that The Rock wasn't iconic, it was like, bro, like lay off the
Yeah, you
drugs. But then,
tripping.
No.
but then
Even
The
even
Rock.
Henny God came out the bush and was like, what?
No,
Henny God
let me
normally
tell
he don't even say too much. He just be in the cut chilling. Even Henny God was like, nah, you wildin'. They was
I'm gonna
on
keep
top
it real
of
with you.
crazy.
When The Rock walked away from wrestling, I didn't really miss The Rock.
But that's
Even
you
though
though.
no, I'm probably one of thousands that's like, yo, you know what?
It's not
When The
the
Rock popped,
millions.
but when The Rock popped up, because he became bigger. The Rock is such a special individual because you would think that you can't get no bigger than what he was as a
He trying his
wrestler.
best to try to fight it.
No, you at one point you was like, all right, Rock is on top. He can't get no bigger than this. But when he went to Hollywood, oh,
Well,
he
of
was a made
course,
man.
yeah. Yeah, like when
Nobody
he went
really
to Hollywood,
nobody
yeah. But he
nobody
was still
expected,
popping when he was The
but
Rock.
but here's the thing. No one expected
And
Rock to
pause.
become no one expected The Rock to become the mega A-list movie star that he is today. Now he ain't on TV as much, but I think it was when Fast Five came out. The Rock was the grossing most grossing movie star in the entire
Yeah,
world. No
yeah.
one was expecting
Yeah.
that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But that doesn't mean
Everybody
The
else,
Rock. That doesn't mean you talking about Dwayne Johnson, but that doesn't mean
yeah,
The
Dwayne
Rock wasn't popping. That's what we trying to explain to you. You saying that The
The
Rock
Rock,
wasn't popping at all.
no, The Rock is popping. But here's
But
the thing.
that's yeah, I know that. You was trying to
If
say
The Rock,
otherwise.
if The Rock never went to Hollywood, would we still be talking about The Rock like how we are today?
The Rock would have been we would have been like Jonathan Coachman by now.
The Rock is immortalized. He's the only wrestler that became immortalized after retiring and going into Hollywood. You will never see that again. John Cena can try, but it ain't gonna happen.
He'll be immortalized. People know who John Cena is too. People know who John Cena is, but not as much as The Rock or Dwayne Johnson, but John Cena's popular. Anyways, this was interesting show. Can't wait to hear this shit again.
The Vince Russo of the wrestling count.
Yes, bro. That's how Russo is.
No, you got something to swag. Get him! Get him!
Vince
Because I
Russo,
think
though.
Hold on. Let Scott respond. You do the first shot. Let Scott respond to that.
All right.
I want Pepsi on that one.
The Vince Russo. That was a good one though, I ain't gonna lie.
Now it all makes sense why Tope has Jim Cornette as his profile.
I think Russo's mind was in the right place too, because Russo wasn't perfect, but the thing I always give him is that regardless of what company he worked for, whether it was WWE, WCW, or TNA, he always made sure everybody was in a storyline. He made sure everybody was doing something. There was never a period in a Russo book company where somebody was doing nothing. The problem was this idea sucked. So the idea was in a good place. I just think that Scott's similar because some of the points you make are good. You just have a poor way of explaining it in a way that makes sense sometimes. That's kind of what I meant.
Oh man.
Scott, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, man. What the
Go ahead, man.
No, I ain't got nothing to say.
Okay.
Drink my tea.
What type of tea you got? I like chamomile and bush tea from the backyard.
Actually, I'm simple. I don't go for name brands. I just go for the flavor. You know, peppermint, cinnamon apple.
Oh yeah, I like those too. Okay, there
If
you go.
I if I need some psychological warfare, I drink Sleepy Time. That will make me think I'm sleepy, even though it doesn't make you sleepy.
It's like a mind game tea.
Yeah.
We have any so you got a track coming up, T? Is it did it come out today or it's coming out tomorrow? Talk to us about your music.
My new track comes out May 29th.
Oh, that was way off. Excuse me.
It comes out it comes out May 29th. I might be shooting the video for it the week before.
All right.
Well, like we said before we go, all I gotta say is I hope everybody has good sleep. Enjoy the peace and quiet because it's not going to be so peaceful this time tomorrow.
I'm waiting for Twinkle Toes and CM Punk to start throwing fists in the locker room.
So what's on the card? As a matter of fact, before we go, y'all know what's on the card tomorrow?
I know a few matches that are on the card for tomorrow.
Yeah. Before we get up out of here, what's the card for tomorrow on AEW?
I know that Christian's gonna do a segment. I know it's gonna be possibly. I know the main event is probably Chris Jericho versus Roderick Strong in a Falls Count Anywhere match. They got
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. Like you booked this dude Roderick Strong to lose his first match, but whatever.
Okay, I got
he might not even lose.
Okay, I got the card. I got the card in front of me. What's
hold on. T, he was saying it. You already had the card, T?
Nah, go ahead. Let Topes got it. Go for it.
The card in front of me was advertised as Jericho, Roderick Strong, Falls Count Anywhere match. Outcast versus Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker, and Sheeta in a 6-woman match. Don Callis will explain his actions, so probably a promo segment. Jack Perry, Jungle Boy, against Roosh. Sammy Guevara segment. And we got Ricky Starks versus Jay White and TK announcement of whatever the fuck is going to announce, which we talked about already.
Yeah, so pretty standard.
That's what's advertised so far.
I would assume he's gonna start making more matches for Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like, so you booking 2 dudes that don't need to lose tomorrow night when it comes to Roosh and when it comes to Roderick Strong. Okay, TK. Back to 700,000 you go.
Well, the match between Roosh and Jungle Boy makes sense. You want to give the challengers something to do to build them up for the match at the pay-per-view.
Well, feed them somebody else. Why Roosh? Roosh needs
got to be somebody
wins.
credible. It's got to be somebody credible, though. If it's just some jobber, you're not going to care, right?
Yeah, or
I would have him go against Hardcore Hobbs or something.
No, you gotta make them care. So when Jungle Boy wins the title, it's even that much better.
You begging to be on the bench. Huh?
I am begging for a Jungle Boy world title run. So
fuck out of here. It's never gonna happen,
guys. When I start singing,
so
before we go, let me deal with it.
Bro, Sandman gonna be Jim Cornette if Jungle Boy win the title.
Yo, y'all gonna hit a rant of a lifetime.
So before we go, all right. So TK is confirmed to be in New York. So if there's any appearance on Dynamite, unless he's taking a fucking jet, it's gonna be pre-taped. He's in New York. We got unconfirmed reports that Punk is there. If he is there, I assume somebody will find out by the morning hours or something like that. They're going to be at Madison Square Garden, which I think is kind of extra. I mean, you could have announced it anywhere, but they're going to make the announcement at Madison Square Garden. So there's going to be the business announcement, and then there's the on-screen announcement. So at Madison Square Garden is where they're most likely going to officially confirm hey, Collision's a new show. It'll be there. You know, the suits and ties, the pictures, and all that stuff. Whether or not Punk will be there, I don't know. But there's unconfirmed reports that Punk might be there. If he doesn't show up for whatever reason, don't be surprised if TK does some kind of pre-tape where he's like, okay, this is what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, CM Punk's coming back on this show too. So the point I'm trying to make is be prepared for the possibility of either an in-person appearance of Punk or confirmation that he's coming back tomorrow. You could get it as early as tomorrow night.
Man, you want fans to watch your TV? Don't announce CM Punk. Just have him show up on a TV show or pay-per-view, and then that's gonna make the fans come on TV. But you know, I'm
not against the idea
of the
I'm not against their idea. It's just they did that the first time. I don't know if it'll work again. You know,
the difference is CM Punk got to just come out and just beat somebody up and catch him with the GTS. That's what Punk got to do. Punk got to come through and bring impact. Period. No coming out and cutting a promo and no promos. Come out and just let's get it started. Let's get it.
And he's not allowed to jump into the crowd no more.
I get it. Those are freak accidents. You know what I mean? I get it because he was enjoying that because we all knew that Punk was never going to come back, so he was enjoying the time. It was just a freak accident. But hold on, let me say this real quick with Marcus Brown. He posed because my dude Marcus Brown, he's always loyal to the Roundtable. You got to make sure his voice is heard. Oh yeah, we spoke about Matt Hardy earlier.
Luckily, that wasn't Matt Hardy.
Yeah, we spoke about he wasn't here for that, Scott. Yeah, so we all agree on that. That wasn't. I'll pull it up for you real quick though. I'll pull it up for you real quick. I'll pull it up for him real quick. The deleted tweets, real quick before we get up out of here.
Oh, my butt cheeks. Oh my God. Ooh. You ever wiggle your toes?
Your knees sound like what the fuck, man? You got the Betty White knees? What the fuck is going on over there, yo?
I was about to say, you ever wiggled your toes, man?
All right. Let's see.
I'm over here watching Predator.
Okay. It's not that. Oh, yeah, Stokely spoke about that, as a matter of fact. Before we get to the damn tweet, Stokely was throwing shots saying, get your account Get your account hacked by a teenager in Singapore on Windows 98 is nasty work. P.S. I'm innocent. All questions are now directed to my attorney.
Stokes hilarious. Love that guy.
The fuck happened to? Oh, here we go. Right. You can see it, Marcus Brown. What's your thoughts on this shit? We got everybody else's thoughts but you, Scott.
I think you left.
Who, me?
You left?
Oh no, you still there?
Yeah, you. Yeah, well, actually, because we never got your thoughts on it.
My thoughts on what?
Yeah, because Marcus Brown was the Matt Hardy tweets. Because Marcus Brown was talking about it, so I figured, we'll talk about it before we get up out of here.
I ain't got nothing bad to say about Matt Hardy. Protect your damn Twitter account.
Yeah, be careful what you like on social media.
Psych, bitch, it's still me. You ain't getting this shit back, gang. Like, Matt Hardy don't even talk.
Right.
I can't even hear Matt Hardy saying gang.
Right. Just be careful. Be careful what you like on social media. I remember when my Facebook was hacked, this was years ago. There was an anime website I used to use. I'm drawing a blank right now. I forgot what it was called. I know what it was called now. It was called Go Anime. I used to watch Naruto on there. And there was this link at the bottom of the video where it was like us on Facebook. And I was like, all right, cool. I liked it because I always used it. The next thing I know, log on the next day and it wouldn't log me on. It was like, oh, your account has been compromised or something like that. So it was like some, what's the word? It's like, I think it's called like PISH or something, PSHED or whatever. Just be careful what you like. Right, yeah. Be careful what you like on social media, like whether it's Facebook,
Yeah,
Twitter,
a phishing
TikTok,
account.
Instagram.
Yeah, they call it a phishing account.
Yeah. That's probably what happened. He was probably scrolling through his Twitter feed or something, probably followed somebody, probably clicked on something and didn't realize it was some kind of scam. That's probably what happened, I imagine.
Mm-hmm. And you know how else they catch you? They will send you a DM or whatever till you click on the link. It's like, oh, we got a sale on this, we got a sale on that. Because remember, when we use our phones, TVs, whatever we look for, like when it comes to shopping, it's in the algorithm. So it could be a motherfucker that do some bullshit and be like, oh, we got a special deal on. So like it's a weed whacker. You've been looking at weed whackers all day, and they will say, oh, we got a special deal on the weed whacker, and you click that link, bam, they got your fucking account.
Yep.
And that's some cornball shit. Anyways, it was a good episode, man. Have fun, mate. I'm gonna watch AEW tomorrow. See what's going on with that. Who y'all think is gonna win between Starks and Jay White?
I'm hoping we rarely get in AEW. I'm hoping we get like a rare DQ or some kind of bullshit finish so that we can actually get like a match on pay-per-view.
Yeah, because both of them can't afford to lose.
Right, because that could be a good match if it's given time. But on TV, I feel like, there'll be a limit of what they could do. So
we're gonna get a no DQ fall count everywhere. You know how that goes.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe it'll be a draw. It's been a long time since we've had one.
Ballet Dancer going for Kitty Ricky.
Honestly,
I ain't lie, in a way, I am too. I understand Jay White. He's fresh. He's up and coming in AEW. But I gotta go for Ricky Starks, man. They gotta keep Ricky Starks strong.
Oh, yeah. So the plan, I forgot to mention, I should have said this earlier. I'm sorry, because I know we're going long. So here's the current plan, and I think this can work. All right, so because of this Warner Discovery and all that stuff, right, they got rid of Dark. They got rid of Dark Elevation, right? The current plan is, and if they stick with this, I think this will work for AEW. They want Collision to be like on the same level as Dynamite as far as star power is concerned. And because their roster is so big, there's so many people that don't get on TV enough. So the plan is Dynamite is going to be like their Raw, and Collision is going to be like their SmackDown.
Right.
And then Rampage is just going to be transitioned slowly into like their Superstars type show or Sunday Night Heat type show.
Yeah, you told us about that from before.
Right. It's already been that way for a while anyway. And so if you have, so basically it's going to be like mostly A-listers on Dynamite with the occasional A-lister on Collision, but then the B-listers who may not have enough room to appear on Dynamite, and they'll be on Collision. So it's like you can see guys like Roosh or Miro or Powerhouse Hobbs or whatever. And then that way they can get their own 2-hour time slot thing. I think it can work. The only issue I have is, and I'm not an expert at it, they haven't confirmed the time slot. The rumored time slot is 8 to 10. I'll do what I can to confirm.
That's a dead spot, beast.
Right.
Saturday in the summertime?
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's not smart at all.
Right. Because on Saturdays when I was younger, the last thing I was doing was watching TV on a Saturday night. I was out with my friends, going to parties,
you trying to hang out, get some pussy, get drunk, whatever.
Right. And then the other reason I think it's kind of is if they're going to be on Saturdays, at some point they're going to have to compete with WWE because WWE does a lot of Saturday pay-per-views too, which I'm still getting used to, by the way. Kind of weird. So, but we'll see. I guess. I mean, if it wasn't,
and that's Saturday, the thing why people who say that TK is a fucking nerd. You know what I mean? Because why would you know what I mean, put that in a spot like that? You're already going the wrong way. You already that. I'm telling you, him putting that shit, especially on when the peak of the summertime. You putting that
And
shit on a Saturday night is a terrible move.
that's why I say people in Vince McMahon and WWE it will never be worried about TK because you know why?
That's why
TK
they
can't
call him
go.
a geek. Because it's like,
TK
yo,
can't go.
my dude, you know
TK can't go to
motherfuckers go
sleep.
out around that time and, you know what I'm saying, they go mingle and shit like that. Now, if he was to do it like earlier or something, maybe like 7, like, I would do it for like an hour, 7 to 8. Or,
Right.
you know what I mean? Do it like that.
What I
7
would
to
do,
8.
what I would
Real quick
do
hour.
is I would go old school. I would do 6:05 or 6 o'clock. I would do 6 to 7:30. Do an hour and 30-minute show. That's different because everything's 2 hours or 1 hour. Do a 1 hour 30-minute show, 1 hour with 125. I would do like 6 o'clock to like 7:25 p.m. Hour 25 minutes. That's enough to get your promos, your segments, whatever. A little bit longer than Rampage, not as long as Dynamite. But you can still feature some people. If you do it at 6 to 7, it's not going to be so late to the point where people are going to miss it because people may still be at home on Saturday afternoon, like if it's like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. But like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, especially during the summer, especially younger people, they're going to be out. They're going to go to the movies, go to the bar, restaurant, whatever, trying to get laid. Or they're just going to be playing, a lot of times, like for me personally and my age now, on Saturdays, that's when I just go and I play PlayStation or Xbox or whatever. I just that's my gaming weekend, Some dudes just want to game with the squad, their boys, play Fortnite, Call of Duty, whatever the fuck people are playing these days. But
Totally agreed. So Baladeja said, you can still do that. You can still do all of that. Just keep AEW all in the background.
That's what NXT. That's what NXT was for me, man. That was when I knew NXT was dying, bro. Because when AEW was going head to head against NXT, I tried to be fair. Because I would watch NXT. This is what I would do. I would watch AEW live one week, and I would watch NXT on the background the next week. And the week after that, I would watch NXT live and then watch AEW in the background. This would have been like 2019, early 2020, before COVID blew everything to hell. And I knew NXT was dying, and I know you felt the same way, Sam, man. I knew NXT was dying because it was like every week NXT was becoming background TV, where I was watching it, but not really. I was like on my phone. I was on a laptop. I was cooking shit. And like when you're super invested, right? If you leave the room for a couple of minutes and you miss something, you rewind because you want to make sure you saw everything.
Right.
But when you don't really care, you're just kind of like, whatever. And that was kind of what it was. And then it was getting to a point where I stopped looking at NXT DVR and I would just like read results of what happened online. Then it got to a point where I would just like, all right, let me just go on Twitter. Let me go like on the NXT Twitter account and I'll just scroll through. And when I got to that point, I was like, yeah, I don't care. And then the last show I watched was fucking I think it was like it was like a fatal 5-way. I think it was like Adam Cole, Pete Dunne, Karrion Kross, and like 2 other dudes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was like a fatal 5-way. It was a fatal 5-way, and then Kross killed all of them, and they looked dominant. And then like the following Raw, Jeff Hardy just beat him.
This dude just rolled them. He just rolled them. This dude Killer Kross.
After that, I was done.
Killing Kross turned me away from NXT. Cause at that time I was like, why the fuck did he deserve beating Keith Lee?
You know what?
No, really. What did Karrion Kross do to deserve to beat Keith Lee? I wasn't buying that.
Well, Vince wanted him. That's why
Keith Lee dropped the title after one title defense. After that big hype with winner take all, I wasn't cool with that.
Well, Keith Lee was already about to get called up. That was a humongous rumor that Keith Lee was about to get called up.
Even now, like the last thing I'll say, even now is it's still very clear that the people there don't have control over that. When they were doing the draft thing, You know, when they every time there was an NXT call up, you could see Shawn Michaels looked upset. Isn't he supposed to be the one running NXT now?
Yep.
You know, with Triple H in charge, wink, wink. You would think that he would give Shawn the heads up on when someone's going to get called up. The fact that Shawn did not know, that tells me that Triple H is not the one making the decisions for that. It's fucking Vince. He's still there.
And you know Triple H knows. Let's really be real. Triple H knows what's going on, but Triple H is probably not telling Shawn Michaels.
Right.
It's the rivalry that's still going. You gotta understand that's the rivalry that's still going.
No, it's the fucking it's the boot licking that's still going with this fucking Pinocchio Levesque. Anyways, about to get up out of here, B. Went way over the 2-hour mark, but we had a great conversation. And we're gonna pull up again Friday.
We didn't get a chance to talk about my boo Lash Legend.
Oh yeah, happy birthday to her too. I seen it was her birthday.
Yo, if she can clean up her wrestling, she will be a powerhouse.
She still got a lot of time. Anyways, we're gonna pull up on Friday. Do what we always do.
Let us know when Nikita Lyons come back.
Beat it, ya bums.
All right, laters.